existed. So it was nice to meet the Kadeems, the Mohibs as well. And Hussein, basically, he's the man that really would remember a lot of these things that happened both in Guyana, Aruba, England, and obviously with our new family leg coming on board, we had the opportunity to share some of your stories. Our lovely cousin Georgette, she's the one that did the amazing book. Thank you so much for doing that Gopeah Descendants book. Wonderful. And it's kind of opened up a lot of different windows, doors for us to sort of just connect, get a chance.
That's the book. Miss Farah, have you seen that book?
Yes, I actually purchased it. I got my copy not so long ago. It was very well done.
And the author is there, Georgette.
Yes. Hi, Georgette. I've heard a lot about Georgette from my Aunt Rose.
So I'm going to try and track everybody through the book because I can't remember all of it. So that's Tarifa Colasar and your cousin to Farah, right?
Yes.
Farah, what's your last name?
Zilli, Z-I-L-L-I. That's my married name. My maiden name was Mohammed.
I know that you guys rang my bell, and thank you. But that was like 6 years ago. Donald is adding to it. So all the people who are not in the book, all the misinformation is being redone by Donald Mohid, whose father started this whole ball rolling. He and Edwin Shakur were the ones that started it. So the hard work this year is on his shoulders because I'm doing my father's now.
So are you guys hearing me now?
Yeah. So we can hear. An addition to the.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Bobby, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Jaitun grandson.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, Bobby.
Yeah, that's my cousin. Yeah. You know, my father used to live in Legwan.
Yes.
PM, Abdul Latif. My father name was Abdul Latif Mohammed. I think it's Jaitun eldest son.
Yes.
I'm the last brother for my family. We're 7 of us.
I met your brother in Aruba last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He told me that he met you. When I spoke to him, he said he was waiting. The night when I spoke to him, he said he was waiting for you guys.
So, Bobby, Bobby, where do you live?
I live in New York.
So how many people on this screen have you met?
The only one I could remember is Shanaz. Nobody else.
How about me? Don't you remember me?
I was trying to remember you, Sharifa, but I couldn't remember you. But I could remember Shanaz. Yeah, probably that's why.
We have a new attendee, Shako.
Okay. Hi, Shako.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good.
Hello. Hi, Shako. Hey, Shako.
Hi, yourself, Shak.
So, Shako, how are you related to us?
I am Aziman's granddaughter. My mom was Dali, and my dad is Mohammed.
Right. Oh, well, it's great. So my father's sisters, children and grandchildren are now coming in, which is tremendous.
I met you in Guyana because I met Dolly. No,
I was not there, but I saw my name on the book there, but that wasn't me.
Okay.
I don't know for some reason, but there was a mistake. I wasn't there when my mom was there.
Okay, who was that person that you're misnamed for?
I don't know. I can't recognize that person.
That was at a wedding. Somebody was getting married. A girl who lived in New York was marrying a Guyanese boy.
Maybe Ruben's daughter, Shira. Shira, that name rings a bell? Shira's daughter?
I have so many names in my head. I have to think.
Okay, Shira lives next door to Uncle Rashid. That's Ruben, my mom's eldest, at number 11.
This was near
Donald is trying to show us pictures.
Yeah, she's saying that she's not the person named there.
Donald is showing the pictures there, some picture there. Donald, put it back again. We can do it a full zoom.
All right.
There's a way to get it full on the screen. How can you do that?
You go off of
gallery.
It depends on who's speaking. It follows whoever's speaking.
Donald, speak.
Hello. So just while we're getting that done, I have to run. So I wanted to say, Nick, happy birthday. Uncle Tootsie, I love you. I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful day and many, many beautiful days after this, okay?
Thank you. And should we remind everybody, Vashti has recently become a grandma.
I'm a grandmama.
Congratulations.
And she's entering the glamorous granny club.
There we go. So Uncle Tootsie's sister, Doreen, is my mom. just in case any new people are here. So Uncle Tootsie is my, well, obviously Uncle Tootsie. Everybody calls him Hussein, but I call him Uncle Tootsie, and that's never going to change. So Uncle Tootsie, I love you. Thank you for keeping us all connected. Say hi to Chris and have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much.
Okay? I'm
Bye.
going now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, it's Nick who's getting us all together.
Yeah, I'll buy more. I have another box here.
Okay.
Linda, we haven't heard your voice.
That's because I'm just so quiet these days.
Now that is a turn up for the books.
It's all this lockdown. I can't remember how to speak anymore.
So
I'm locked in down on my own with the dog, you see, and she takes no notice.
right, okay. For the new people, is there anything you want to find out from others who are here? I mean, Farah, when did you go to Canada? What year?
We came back in 1983. We left Guyana, but my dad was here
Right.
earlier, and then we joined him, and then he died in 1987. He passed away, and I've never gone back to Guyana. I think my brothers, they went back once. My mom went back once, and we've basically, this is home for us, and everyone's here.
Farah,
Yeah.
remind me where is
Yeah.
home? Where are you now?
In Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto. So am I. So we should, yeah,
Oh,
we
are
should
you?
meet up.
Yeah, I'm in the Young and
Okay, I'm
Shepherd
in Morningside
area.
and
so.
Finch area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this has been home for us, and our father's death was a shock, and so that was a tough one for us to get past. But we still miss him.
When did he die?
When did he pass away?
In 1987, he was only
wow.
51.
Young.
Yeah.
Okay, and help me again. Your dad was?
Sorry, my dad was his age.
The name.
Oh, the name. Oh, they called him Joe. Like he was more commonly known as Joe, but his proper name was Salim. Salem.
And it was Muhammad, right?
Yes, Mohammed. And I have 4 older siblings and a younger sister. 4 older brothers and a younger sister.
And what is your
So we're
mother's
6
name
of us.
again?
Zilpha.
I don't know if you all know, but Donald went to the trouble of printing out everybody's name and all their relations, and he sent it to us, yesterday or day before yesterday?
Yeah, he did. I saw
Oh,
that.
yes.
On that spreadsheet, you would be able to see all the
You could
answers
see the
to all the
connections.
questions.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember, but are our emails on that?
No, I didn't include them. I wanted to make it so you could see it larger on your screen, but I could do that. Not a problem.
Okay,
can do
because Farah, I'd like to get in contact with you.
There were
Yeah,
some emails.
Huh?
I think, but we have each other's email from that email that Donald sent.
Okay.
you,
It
right?
is. It was on that. Yeah, on that
Yeah.
chart. Some
Yeah.
emails were there.
Yeah.
I saw.
Were there? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not,
I didn't get that.
we'll
I didn't get that email.
All right, I got the Donald.
We'll send it
Yeah.
to
We'll link up with you, Donald. You'll connect. I'm only not asking it because some people don't like to put all these things out on whatever, so that's why I'm asking it that way.
If anybody does not have my email
I
address,
tell you what, Farah, my telephone number, you can write it down.
Okay, sure. Sorry, can you, I hate to do this. I know it's a lot of chatting and can you explain your relation again? Like who are you, the daughter or granddaughter? Or,
I
no?
am the granddaughter of Abdul Syed.
Okay.
And Hussein Syed is my mother's youngest brother.
Okay.
The only one left right now. All the other siblings have gone to the great beyond.
If I could just set the perspective in terms of starting from Gopeah, if we consider him as the lodestone, the first tier would be my father, Georgette's grandfather, and the Abdul Kadim, Abdul Syed, Abdul Muhid, and all the sisters, all 10 or 11 or 12. Then the next level would be their children, of whom I am one. And
I'm one, and BB is one.
right, yes.
Yeah.
And then the
And
next
then
level
the next level would be the equivalent of Georgette and Nick and Sharina
our
and Lynn
Kadim is it Rob Kadim?
and Richard.
Richard. Sorry, Richard. I don't have anything in front of me that couldn't trick the memory. You're on mute, so we weren't hearing you.
So it is. So we've gone quite a few generations down. So there are not many at what I would call the level
No,
one, level two.
no.
and as I said, I'm 75 today, and I think in terms, I don't know, in terms of my father's brothers' children whom I know, the Cadams, there is Harvey and Oswald and Lyle.
Lyle.
And then with the
And then there was
Hannifs,
Joyce.
there's
Joycey.
Evie and Nasli and Harvey. And the Mohids, they're none at that level, are there, Donald?
No.
And with the Syeds, I'm the last of 6 and the last sibling.
Majid is 93.
Is he?
Yes. He's not doing well. And on that note, I got a message from Rihanna just a few moments ago. They're not going to be able to get on. Her mother, Marie, is critical.
Oh,
so
dear.
keep them in your thoughts and prayers. She's been struggling for some time now.
Okay. Oh dear.
Sorry.
And where do they live?
Okay.
I believe they're in Toronto.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
If we were all to walk into a room, would we ever recognize one another? I'm sure we will by that brilliant intelligence that shines forth from all of our eyes.
I was thinking about that. Like, what common trait do we all have where we can say, oh, yeah, I am related to that person? I think sense of humor is what.
Big time.
Detect that.
Big time.
My father was a
No?
terrible tease. He would tease. We all had nicknames, as I said earlier. Even Sharina had a nickname, but I won't use it here.
So what was your nickname?
My nickname, well, I mean,
His nickname is
technically
Tootsie.
speaking, I'm
Tootsie.
called Tootsie.
Oh,
My
why?
father called all his sons Hussein. But we all had these nicknames. So Linda's
You
father.
guys
is
excuse me for
called
1 minute.
Yeah.
Jeff, Duffy, Fifi with the other brothers.
Okay.
And I asked my father why he did that. And of course, his father, Gopeah, gave all of his sons different surnames.
Why
Oh
was that?
dear.
Why was
So we
that?
have Kadim, Hanif, Syed, and Mohib.
They were all, sorry to butt in, but they were all from Gopeah's second marriage, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, well, my dad was from the first marriage.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're not his uncles. They are brothers.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize. So they're
Yeah.
half brothers.
Yes.
Your father's nickname, do you know what it was?
Egg.
Yeah. Why did it?
I don't know. I asked several times and was never told.
Okay, so Sue,
Yeah.
Bibi,
Yeah.
your father, you're from the first marriage. What was what was the wife's name, the first wife?
I can't remember. I haven't got the book. My daughter's got it.
No, it's not in my book. I never know, because I didn't know the wife's first name, and then the next person was Tajo. So we're looking for was Gopeah married to
First
the first
time.
What was that?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I'll ask my sister Aisha in Canada. She might know.
Sorry,
Oh,
Georgette, who
yeah.
are you trying to find out?
Gopeah's first wife.
Oh, okay.
And cousin Rahim is the son of that first marriage.
Yeah.
Which is news.
Really?
to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would also be nice to have a picture of his first wife.
I've got nothing like that.
There would be records somewhere. Sharina, you were going to see if somebody in Ghana could access some records?
You're on mute.
You're on
She's
mute.
on mute.
The record I would be able to get is from the National Archives, or I'm hoping I'll be able to get. So whatever is registered there, or when they last registered them there.
So there would be a marriage certificate
Yeah.
and birth certificate. So who is brave
Do we
enough
have,
to
we
go
have
to Ghana?
dates? You know when they,
Georgette,
we
you,
know the dates?
I was in Guyana. I was in Guyana in December.
Oh,
were you?
Yeah, I was in Guyana in December.
Oh, boy.
I went up Borbies. Because I went to see my mother and father grave and my
Right.
brother. And then one of my sister died in October, so I went up in October. We buried her right in number 11.
Oh dear.
And then I went back in December.
Oh.
Number 11, the site that Gopeah buried, we buried on the other side because my mother that's where her family burial ground. So my father and my mother is buried on the left-hand side, my brother and my sister also. And I think on the right-hand side is Gopeah and everybody there. All the families over there. Bashir, my father, and Jaitun, Umar. Yeah, all of them is on the
So
other side.
what is Ghana like? How is
Pardon me?
Ghana?
Ghana is beautiful as
No, I
ever.
meant the political situation.
There's a lot of developments there, you know. There's a lot of development for the past 10, 15 years, you know. And I'm seeing things picking up. Generally.
We were due to go in March with Bibi, me and my sister.
Oh.
But because of the election and what happened and COVID, we had to cancel.
Okay.
Can I go when you go? Tell me when you're going and I'll go. I'll meet
Next
you.
year.
Next year. The only problem with Guyana is that, you know, during election time, then you get a lot of disturbances.
Yeah.
After that, everybody's living together again.
I've been there.
It's just for a couple of months, and then, you
I've
know,
been there
and then
during
things get
election
back.
time when the buildings were on fire and the cars were on fire. That's when my mother and I took the gravestone.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
There's a potential for things smoothing out right now. Just a potential. Just a potential.
I was a police in Guyana. I spent 17 years in the Guyana police force.
Oh.
You know.
Wow.
Oh, were you the guy who arrested me one night?
Probably.
Where was
And
that?
when I left there,
In
when I left there, I
Georgetown?
was a sergeant.
In Georgetown or Berbice?
Georgetown.
Right. Okay.
At Eve Leary headquarters.
Okay. I have reservations myself about going to Ghana. I'll tell you why. When I, in 1964, when I did my A-levels after the big general strike, I did very badly in my A-levels, and I went to Barbados on holiday and ended up getting a job teaching there because one of my ex-teachers from Ghana was there. And I stayed in Barbados for 3 years teaching and then came to university here. But on one trip back to Ghana, I met one of my good friends who I was at school with at Queen's College, called Morgan, and Sharina may know him, Tweet Morgan. And he was in the Ghana Defense Force. And I met him at a friend's house in New Amsterdam. And I went to shake his hand and he refused. And he said, because I was a traitor by living and working in Barbados. And I thought, well, if this is the kind of attitude we're going to have, I'm not going to, stick around.
Yeah.
That was 40 years ago. Hello.
Yes, I know.
That's a long time ago. We all change.
No,
Everything.
but the guy who was the ex-president was also a contemporary of mine. Sharina knows, and he isn't now the president, is he? Sharina.
She's on mute.
Oh, okay. But I mean, no, the point I'm
Who's
making
is the
is that
president now?
He's some young guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dr. Irfan Ali.
Irfan Ali.
Yeah, yeah.
He just became that August the 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
We had the longest election from March the 2nd until August the 2nd before the results were declared.
Yeah.
But Farah, you were born in Ghana. Would you like to go back? I mean, on a visit.
I don't know. I've never been back. I guess it would be nice to go, but for me, there are lots of other places I'd rather go. I've had a taste of it. I know what it's like. There are a lot of undiscovered places that I've never been to. I'd like to go. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't have I guess because I came when I was 11. And the circumstances under which we left were not pleasant. So my memories are not very fond. When we left, I felt like we were forced to leave. And my parents, they had, like my dad was a police officer, my mom was a teacher. We had a decent standard of living and we were forced out. And then I think it's sort of, for me, going back, it's that my dad left. He came to Canada for a better life because part of it, life was not great in Guyana. He came under a very stressful circumstance when he came to Canada for us to have the opportunities that we have. And then he died shortly thereafter. So I think that sort of left a bitter taste in my mouth. It was like a very stressful situation. Why do I want to go back to a place that wasn't very nice to my parents? It wasn't I don't have very good memories. The racial tension in Guyana was very bad when we left in the early 80s. I remember, like as a kid, I was scared at times. So do I want to go back? I think there are other places I'd rather go. And
I agree with you. Yeah.
I apologize for those who have a fond liking or would like to go back there, but I don't. I think like I've been there, done that, knows what it's like. Maybe to go back as an adult, it's with a different lens you're looking at it. But I think that whole situation in the 80s and then to lose my dad shortly thereafter, because what forced him out of Guyana was that situation. I just don't have that fondness for that country. And that's the honest truth. I felt it was under bad, like the circumstances were not great. My parents were, they were, you know, professionals and they were forced to leave. So.
Well, I was born in Aruba. I spent 4 years in Guyana going to school. And interestingly, given the type of place the West Indies is, I went to school in Trinidad when I was 6. And then again when I was 10. So everybody in Trinidad thought I was from Aruba. And then from Trinidad, I went to Guyana. And everybody in Guyana thought I was from Trinidad because I
They would.
And then I went and lived in Barbados for 3 years and taught there. And everybody in Barbados thought I was from Guyana. And when I came here, everybody thought I was from India or Pakistan. So I have this feeling of always
So you're
being
a man of the
outsider.
world.
Yeah. United Nations.
Yes, a maverick. So I suppose what I'm saying is if anybody goes, they should try and get to the National Archives and see what they can find out about our, we know a fair amount about our grandfather, my grandfather.
I have linked up with the person, but he's so busy with other things. But if I go next July, I'll check what I can check, but that's next July. But I'll try and link on him. But he's the kind of person you got to see him face to face.
Can you just go and ask them, or do you have to write beforehand?
This guy's got a memory that's crazy. He used to work there. I don't know if he's still working there, but he seems to have access to certain information. So hence.
I want to know, is Bobby going to go back? Bobby, are you going to go back?
We can't hear you. Oh.
Yep, I should be going back probably next year, sometime next year, middle of next year.
Okay, and when you went, I know your family's graves are on the other side, but did you go to the Gopeah side to see how things are doing? I mean,
yep.
Were the markers still there? Because that was our concern when we had them put in, that somebody would want to dig them up and melt down the brass.
No, it's still there. Because remember, my grandfather and my grandmother is also buried over there.
Right, but that doesn't mean people don't destroy graves.
So I visit.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, so I always visit it over there.
Okay, so
they might have heard of your journey walking with all that heavy stuff.
As a matter of fact, you know what? We had it in our suitcase, and they said that suitcases were too heavy. And then my mother and I took it out of the suitcase, and we carried it on the plane.
Oh my God!
So, it was a pilgrimage, yes. But Bobby,
yes.
Do you know Bulbul?
Yep.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Mrs. husband, yes? Okay.
I'm not sure, you know.
Who is that? Who is that you're asking about?
Bulbul, Uncle Bulbul.
He is alive because my sister-in-law, Ruth Ann, who's married to Azim, my brother, and they live in Guyana. Yes, you know Shaku, right?
Yeah.
Because someone called Muhammad Ali asked to be a friend of mine. So I asked my sister-in-law, who is he? And she said that he is Ruben's son, is he?
That's
that would be Bodzo.
Bodzo, not Bodzo. I think Bodzo's son.
Bodzo's son.
Bodzo's son.
Oh,
okay then.
Bodzo's son.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Uncle Bulbul is alive. He's doing well. I find out for him all the time because Uncle Bulbul's wife, Auntie Missy, is Mom's sister.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, but Missy is gone. See, that's where we stayed. We stayed with Missy and Bulbul when we
Yeah,
went.
Missy is gone. She passed before my mom.
Yeah. What year did Dolly die?
2009. 2009, February.
Okay, because I was back in Guyana in 2017, and Azim took us to number 11, and we went to visit a lot of other relatives there.
You visited my dad too.
Yeah, we went to your dad's. Oh, he's lovely. We went to there, and he had his next door neighbor had cooked 7 curry for us. And we ate it out of that leaf. Yes, I'm in touch with him. I asked him the other day. I spoke with him about 2 weeks ago. He did. I thought he was in Toronto. I thought he was in Toronto because he comes every summer.
Yeah,
right? He said they can't leave. Yeah, yeah.
Court is closed. Nice
but
to
he's
see
still
you,
going
baby.
well.
Auntie Baby, nice to
see you. Nice to see you too.
Right.
You should get in touch with me.
I know. You have to. I live in Florida now. You gotta come visit.
When?
You gotta visit Florida.
Whenever. Yes, I'd love that.
I want to know if Bobby knows anybody who does tourism in Guyana, because I want to go into, I want to do a jungle, either animal or bird kind of tour, because I don't want to just go there and see graves I've already seen.
Yes,
I have a good friend there who does a lot of tourism.
Okay, so I'll email you or whatever.
Email me and I'll let you know. His name is Frank Singh.
Okay.
He takes people to Kaichur Falls and all these places, different places in India.
And there's a lot of ecotourism right in the interior. You can go to the Aryan villages and everything. Find some information.
I know. I mean, I really don't want to go alone. So if Sarah or somebody, somebody who has the same mobility I do, because I'm very strong and very mobile. So that's why I don't invite anybody. So
you
if
just
you're strong
knocked
and
me
mobile,
out. You just knocked me out of the tour.
I knocked a whole bunch of you out. You know that. So I'd rather have company than just me going in, though. I'll go. How about you?
Okay. If I can interrupt, I'm going to bed now. This is pretty late for me. So love you and leave you.
Okay,
Nice
meeting
you. Bye.
Bye. Lovely to talk to you. Take
And
care.
you too.
Sleep well.
Lovely.
Well,
Bye.
listen, Georgette, it depends on when you're going next year, if we can go. You're right. It depends on the COVID, because Anna and I are going to go, but we don't know when next year. It depends on the COVID. So we can probably all meet up there.
That would be good.
Have the reunion in Guyana.
What's that?
We should have the reunion in Guyana.
Bobby, those...
I thought we were going to Barbados.
It hasn't been determined yet, apparently.
No.
Well, I was deciding on New York because we got somebody joining on.
That's who is that?
That's my daughter.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
How are you guys?
Hello.
Good.
Good.
Richard, we haven't heard you speak yet. Richard has a lovely Welsh accent.
Jaden?
You're on mute.
He's not on mute.
Oh, there
I
we
think it's
go.
audio. Check your audio there, Richard.
We can't hear him.
And Sharina, you're on mute as well. Okay. I just want to add on here while we're just sorting out the mutes and stuff. In the background, right behind me here, this is my son
Mine's always
Jaden.
happening to the Cadams.
Oh, there we go. And he's with me this weekend. So I wanted to just quickly highlight this. It's obviously Bobby. It is wonderful to meet you. Anna Jones, Farah, Sheiko, welcome on board too as well. We got Sharila. So there's some new ones there, BB, of course. So there's some new people there. I'm just getting emails and texts too as well. I'm trying to add a few others on. I'm trying to send them the information so they can come and join us too as well. Richard, I hope we can try and hear you. Richard is from Wales on the Canadian side. And who else we got there? Obviously, Donald's over in the US. He's in Minneapolis. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, here in Canada, up here in the Great White North. And I'm looking to next year to move over to the coast, to BC, British Columbia. We're still looking moving out there. So right now, I'm 2,000 feet above sea level, way in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, and it's our winters can get a little cooler than normal. So my cousin Sharina out there in Toronto, and the folks out in Toronto, you have your moments too as well when it comes to cold weather. Obviously, Hussein is in York, up in the middle of England there. Linda, I know she left us earlier on. She's up in Scotland. That's my other cousin.
All right.
And her dad is my first uncle, which is Hussein's older brother. I'm the son of Fifi. He's the third, I believe, third or fourth in the line of the sides, under the sides. And I think, Sharina, your mom is Doreen. I think she is the second in the line of the sides there. So in that line, we have on there, obviously we heard earlier on that Hussein is the last surviving member of that leg. And Donald, thank you so much for doing that, what you call it, that you did.
Spreadsheet.
The spreadsheet, thank you. That was really good, very detailed and everything in
It
there.
was.
So it adds a few things in there. You just kind of have to decipher where your line is and add anything too as well. And also, I was going to say to everybody, they were talking about communicating with each other. That is wonderful to see. On here, we have the chat on the Zoom. Please feel free to put your email or telephone number on there so others can pick it up before we end the session, which will be for a while. So then that way you can communicate. Bobby, I'm so glad to hear that you're traveling back and forth to Guyana. And I know my experience with Guyana is when I was a young boy. I was born in England. Went down, my father traveled quite a bit, went down to Guyana in, I think, 64, 65, somewhere down there. Stayed I'm back and forth between England and Guyana. I don't remember a lot of the little things. I remember being on a cruise ship, and Hussein was nice enough to remind me that it was from England to Aruba, not Aruba to England. I always keep getting it the wrong way around. And then in Guyana, I went to school there. I went to Dolphin Government School. That's the school I remember in Georgetown. Places I remember staying was La Penitence, Nandi Park, and then we went, the last place before my dad passed away in 1973 was Linden, Mackenzie area. That was up from the highway, up at the far end there. That's the three main places I remember living before. In 73, I think I was 9 at the time. And my older brother, Abdul, and myself, we ended up coming to stay with our mom in England. And then from England, it just kind of grew from there. I haven't been back to Guyana. Georgette, I know it's the same thing as you were saying about going back there. I had thought about some plans, but I also agree with a couple of others who said there's some other interesting places to go to. I love Aruba. I love taking my young lady with me to Aruba. And that's one of our goals is to go back again. I want to take this little guy behind me. He's my special needs son, and being in a wheelchair. And he gets a little shy with people and everything, but he's okay. And I like to take him to the beach. He hasn't been to a beach yet, so that's one of the things I got to take him out to as well. So he wants to watch some TV. So, and then I have a daughter. She's working today. She's 26 years of age. This young man behind me is 20. So we kind of like get along a bit of age. I'm 57 years of age, young, however you want to do that. I look way older than Hussein, who is 75 years of age. So hopefully by the time I reach his age, I'll look younger. So I'm working on that.
He might look like me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bob, I wanted to ask Bobby a question.
Yes, go.
This friend of yours who takes people to Kaicho Falls and so on, do they come back?
All the time. You haven't lost 10 years yet.
People said eventually, I suppose.
It's a long
Sharina,
drive.
have you been to? Sorry, Sharina, have you been to Kaicho Falls?
I flew over it.
How was the plane? Do you feel safe in it?
You know, the way life is today.
Well, she's lived to tell the tale.
It was a very small plane. I think it held about 6 of us or something like that.
Oh my God.
Then, and I'm talking about in the late 60s, early 70s. So,
Okay.
so things improve. But I'll post some information for who wants and Georgette, so you can even make choices and show you some lovely pictures, and you can, even in the interior, Bobby probably has the contact. They probably make other trips to our no connections.
I've looked at different things. I would just rather know somebody who knows somebody as opposed to me just picking a place randomly.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But what you can do is find out where you would like to go And then you could find out who knows somebody that's going there or arranges something there. I know, like Bobby knows somebody, and I know a couple other people too, but you got to know where you want to go to. And they usually know people. They usually, like Bobby's friend probably, they're all connected. Everybody knows who's going where.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Richard, have you got on mute yet?
who, me?
We can't hear him. Yeah.
Ah,
Miss Shirani, Miss Hussein.
Ah, he's unmuted.
hello.
Hi, there he goes.
This is my mother. This is my mother, Dulcie. She just wanted to come on board just to say hi.
And just say,
Hi.
and to wish Iqbal a happy birthday. Heinz
Will be me.
75. Hi, Hussein.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
Okay.
Good to see you. I didn't recognize you. You look so young.
Don't go, Dulcie.
Hey,
Miss Dulcie, don't go. Tell us some stories.
what stories you want?
Nancy story.
Something from Guyana.
Who am I talking to?
Oh, everybody.
That
You're talking to
I
everybody.
am the granddaughter of Abdul Mohid.
Right. Oh, there's more here. I've got to change my scene. Can't you get them all a bit nearer? That's Georgia here.
Listen.
It's Bobby there. Shirani,
Sharita here.
do you remember me?
Me, Sharina? Yes, I remember you.
Yes. I think the last time I saw you was in Guyana.
That's right.
Yeah. And that
In
was
the
it.
70s, right?
Aren't they?
In the 70s?
I don't know.
Late 60s.
Late 60s.
Yes.
70,
Georgette, you have to remember that Dulcie
I think
is from
about
Trinidad,
74, 73, 74.
not from
74.
Guyana.
Yeah, 74. Yeah.
And
Oh,
the one connection between Dulcie and myself, apart from her having married my brother, is that when I was 6, when I went to Trinidad from Aruba to go to school,
That's
I
right.
lived with her father's mother
Mhm.
and her husband, Mrs. Ali, for a
Yeah.
whole year.
Maybe she can sing me a baby song so we can hear songs from the past. You have a song? Like mongoose like rice and pumpkin, baguette like cornflower dumpling, something like that. Dulcie, unmute and sing me a song from their childhood.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to leave now. I have to go out.
Doesn't want to hear us
Okay.
singing.
So I'll see you guys
Nice
later.
meeting you, Bobby.
Next time.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to note.
Nice meeting you, Bobby.
I was trying to send a message, but I'm technically challenged, so link.
I've
I
tried
got
to
the
send a
message, but I
message.
don't know how to send it.
I have
Yeah.
problems send. Where's Donald? Donald, how? I have the Zoom group chat here. How do I send it?
How do you send the chat?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what I'll do is I'll capture it and I'll email it to you.
No,
Okay,
the chat
because
is
it's-
there,
it's-
but after you write what you want to write, how do
What
you
you
get
can
it to
do, I
go?
can help you guys out here. What you do is when you touch the screen and the icons come up at the bottom or the top, you'll see a little icon bubble that says chat.
Yeah.
You tap on that, and on there it comes up like if it's the text message. And in there you've got, it says either everybody in the waiting room. You can
Oh,
actually
yeah.
tap on that, and you can actually chat individually
Okay.
to each other if you wish to, or you can chat to everybody as a whole. It doesn't really matter. It works very much the same way like WhatsApp or Viber, all those other chats. Google Hangout? No. It basically is the idea of it is that it's only open here on the Zoom. So that's why when you're giving your information, when we're finished with our Zoom call at the end of all of this, it will be gone. So what I recommend, I'm actually recording the whole of our conversation just to let you all know. And then I'll obviously send it out, put it on the link as well, and put it on the YouTube link. So then that way, just like the last Zoom meeting that we had, I want to do the same thing here. You guys can play it back to your heart's content and get a listen to little things too as well. So that's kind of how the chat works. When you want to come out of it,
Iqbal, when
click
you
in the
type your
box. Go
Iqbal,
ahead,
when you
Shereen.
type your message, how do you get to send it?
That's what I can't do.
You just hit the enter. You just hit the enter key. So when you go on there, you type a message. You just say hi everybody.
Right. Okay.
And then just hit enter.
I get something saying Google Drive, something box, type box, and your computer.
Sorry, repeat that again, Sharina.
When I press enter, I'm getting a little box saying Microsoft. Oh,
Okay.
Uh-oh. I'm gone. I don't know where I'm gone now. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Did you?
I'm not gonna buy. I can't get it to go.
Nick, could I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Hussein.
Did you say somewhere some time ago that you were thinking of having the next reunion in England?
Well, it was just a suggestion about coming over to York, because you and Lyle are like kind of like the two surviving members. Now that we're kind of in touch with the other leg of our family, the Gopeah Descendants, it might be worth looking at maybe a different location, because I'm thinking, where are we all right now in terms of vicinity, and everything else? We don't know what next year is going to give in regards to COVID and travel. I love the idea of Barbados. Please don't get us wrong. I think she's not here on the call, but Donald's cousin Aisha, she's mentioned about Barbados, which I think is a great idea. Sharina, I think your daughter lives on the island.
Yes, she's right here somewhere under a
If we
blanket.
go to Barbados, we're going to have to ask Sharina's daughter to put us all up.
They have an open plot next to them. Camps can work very well.
Oh,
We don't do camping.
So, I mean, obviously, hi, Chris. So obviously, it's going to be, there's a vision for 2022 for those of us who are still going strong. So let's say, okay, hopefully by the end of this year into next year, we might have a better idea as to which is going to be a nice family reunion to do. I know we've got people in England, in Canada, in the US. I got one in Ireland. Norway is my half sister. So that's why, and then obviously there's some family member in England with Hussein. There's his cousin Lyle too as well out there, and his family. Richard, you're out there too as well in Wales. So, you know, it's kind of like looking at where everybody is. We want a nice place to go to. I mean, York is beautiful, don't get me wrong. It is not quite the sandy beaches of Aruba or Barbados. I mean, we may have to look at doing something like that in terms of everybody going to a sandy beach. So I think it might end up being one group of people would like to go to Barbados or go to a tropical island, whereas others, will look at it that way. We could make it a goal. Why don't we make it a goal to say, okay, what would be an ideal location for us to all meet up at, and does it have the facilities and everything that we can go to and enjoy and everything else? And everybody's got different budgets, which we understand. Some can travel, some can't travel. And that's what I was just looking at. So we're going to sit down, put our heads together and talk about the different things. Georgette, I know you're talking about wanting to go back to Guyana. I think that's a terrific idea of going back there. I think it's nice that we've met Bobby.
I'll go no matter what. But
right,
Sharina,
understandable.
Nick, which year
were
you talking about? 2021 or 2022?
Oh, 22. I'm looking at 2022.
Right.
I think next year is going to be, for many of us, next year is going to be the recovery year, and hopefully, in terms of everything that's going on. Careers have changed, jobs have changed, lifestyle has changed for many. For some, it may have stayed the same. So it's a year of adjustment. Different things have happened in each and one of our families, whether it's personal, career-wise, whatever, health-wise, all different things are changing. So, I mean, obviously, it's a case of setting a goal and saying, okay, 2022, we put on around about summertime. York is around nice that time. Barbados is even more wonderful. Aruba, I can understand when we did Aruba, how well it turned out. We have Farida and her family on the island. That's related on the science side. And we wanted to, I think everyone who attended Aruba's reunion, it became a reset in their lives. I think it was one of the nicest things. It was an enjoyable place to be. It was an opportunity to sit and enjoy a time with family members, enjoy the food, enjoy the scenery. But I think overall it was a beautiful holiday location for everybody to just release, just to get relaxed, get themselves reset. And then when they went back home, obviously, hopefully they're geared up, ready for the next event that they're going to be doing in their lives. When I came back from last year, I certainly had a change of things happening with me personally, for a combination of good and bad, but it's kind of part of life-changing thing that we all tend to do. That's why we'll talk about it later on about whether it's the UK, whether it's on a tropical island, all those different things. And I think right now communicating and getting in touch with the other legs of the Gopeah descendants. I know where Georgette, you're looking for the stories, the songs, the contact, the old information, the way back in terms of Gopeah's first wife, the family and children from there. I know that's for those who are into genealogy and so on. It's a search. It's looking underneath the carpet, underneath there, under the rock, to try and find information. So hopefully we can kind of find some more details to add into the descendant things there. We have new family members coming on board, and hopefully we'll hear some stories on their side and what has happened on that side of the tree, or the leg, as you would call it, from the Gopeah descendants. If you follow what I'm saying.
Well, for those who don't know, Chris is here, my wife. That's Dulcie. Yes.
Hi. Nick, Baby Coop is trying to connect, but she says it's telling her waiting for the host to connect.
Okay, I will take a look at that.
Okay.
I didn't see it come up. It usually comes up and it kind of shouts at me. Maybe if you could just text her and just ask her to try again.
Nick, you know how Richard never can get a volume? Is there something like on Zoom that he hasn't allowed the Zoom access?
He's okay now. He's okay now.
Dulcie, hello. Sorry.
Say hi, Richard. You can just say something.
Sorry,
No,
I
not
did.
getting
I
it.
just realised that was Dulcie. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I couldn't read.
Mom, if you want to unmute, we can't hear you. If you want to unmute, hit your speaker button. I'm teaching my mom about using Zoom.
Richard, we can't hear you again?
No, we've never been able to.
No.
You can speak.
Oh, there you are. There you
Can
are.
you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Now you can hear me.
Okay,
Yes.
now that you've got the opportunity, speak.
Yes, a good opportunity. Yeah.
Preferably in
just
Welsh.
I can. Yes. My boy's not here at the moment.
Yeah, I
just
missed him. Very
Yeah.
personal young man.
Just give you a brief who I am anyway, for the people who don't know me as well. Obviously, I come from the Abdul Kadim side. My father is Harvey Kadim, who was the second son of that family. And then he married 3 times, so it was a bit complicated. So I have a half sister, Carmen and Paul, from his first marriage in Norway. And it was me then from Pat when he got married second. And the 3rd time he's married to Graciela in Italy, where I talk to him now and again as well. So, and then obviously I've got a son in Norway who's 15 and a half. So that's how our line is formatted. And I did send out the family format to Georgette and Nick and Donald as well, so they can, integrate that into that form, which Donald does a good job on that form as well. So
Thank you, sir.
Well,
And that's Cheryl next to you.
yeah, Cheryl's here.
Yeah.
We
Now,
wish
Cheryl, could I indulge you all, please? Cheryl, would you mind telling that delightful story about when you both went to Greece on holiday and you entered a pool competition, a snooker competition?
Dulcie, you've got to unmute if you want to talk.
You have to
Oh,
unmute.
yeah, up there. Go on.
I'm
Okay.
Right, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Come
Yes.
Come closer to the microphone.
I don't know what.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was playing a pool with some other people, and it was called, what's it called?
Killer pool.
Killer Pool. Okay. And we had to do a choose a color, and they had to go around, and we had to hit the color in the hole, and whoever didn't do it lost a life. We had 3 lives. So, but I won. I won.
You beat all the guys.
I beat all the guys.
Not only that, but one of the guys that you beat refused to accept you as the winner. He said a
Yes,
woman couldn't
that's
win.
right.
Until Cheryl told him that her father ran a pool hall and she spent her teenage years playing pool.
But it was a good match.
You have the last word. Good.
Good fun.
Way to go, Cheryl. That's where to show guys that you more than just guys can play pool, right? Yeah.
Nick, I told Bibi to message you because she can't seem to get through, okay? Nick, you're on mute.
No, I'm not.
You were.
You're trying to silence me, cousin. No, you can't.
I've learned that.
Remember, I'm the host. I can mute everybody.
So Nick, how are you spending your
sorry,
birthday?
I sang happy birthday for Tootsie, and I forgot to wish you a happy birthday.
No, that's okay. That's
and thank you for all this Zooming and hosting.
Oh, no
this
worries.
is probably going to be the biggest reunion on Zoom, because everybody's going to have, you might have clusters, but you're not, getting everybody to be able to go at the same time, afford it at the same time, interested at the same time is going to be tough. Aruba had a link, pulled everybody back there. That was the beginning for many. But it mightn't happen that easily. And I don't know when COVID is going to be over either.
Won't happen this year.
No, 2022. Yeah. Nick, how are you spending the rest of your birthday?
Well, today I'm after we're done. I think that it's what is it now? It's coming up to 10:30 in the morning here. So I most probably take my son and I. We'll go for a nice walk. We've got lots of beautiful walk paths out here in Edmonton, and we go for a nice little walk. It's overcast, but it's okay. The weather is not too bad. My beautiful partner, my beautiful young lady Kim, she's talking with her mom right now. We'll most probably go out and maybe have a little dinner later on this evening, or just to do a relaxing day.
Are you cooking?
What am I cooking?
Are you doing the cooking?
Well, actually, I might do some of the cooking. I can cook. I have survived this far to cook, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. We haven't really made any particular party plans or whatever it is. It's just more an enjoyable, relaxing weekend, enjoying the scenery in our local area, and at the same time too as well. Oh, what are you showing, Mom? Okay, Mom, what you want to do, hang on, when you're showing the picture, is that, can you unmute? My mom's talking away. I don't know if she's hearing me. Can you unmute? Can you hit a button? I'm trying to unmute her.
Well, see, hold the cursor to the bottom left, and you'll be able to see a mic.
I don't think Goldsie is listening to you.
It's telling me to ask to unmute. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that.
Can you unmute her?
I gotta learn how to do this better.
Goldsie, can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Mom? Can you hear us?
There is a button at the bottom that you got to press.
Bottom
we
left.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Left.
Tap on your name. No disrespect, but this is wonderful. My mom's talking and I can't hear her. This is good. No, I'm just kidding.
But
no,
right.
she's in her 80s and she's sharp as a tack. There's nothing I can get behind her. I'm trying to unmute her. Come on, Mom. Okay. Just tap the bottom of the screen. Maybe if I call her, I can try and see if I can do it that way.
No.
The wonders of communication.
So Nick, you're not having champagne this evening?
Unfortunately, no. We do have wine. Actually, you know what? I'm a Guinness person. So I'm going to have a nice pint of Guinness sometime today. That's me.
And you are welcome to it.
Yes, thank you. And I've got the Guinness glass and the Guinness, and it's going to be enjoyed today, that's for sure.
Now, I thought you'd be interested
Guinness,
in this.
When I was pregnant, it was Guinness that got me to drink milk, so I'm not going to knock it.
It's funny, Nick, and we're just having a meal indoors. Tomorrow we're going out to lunch with Chris's two nieces and their respective husbands. Okay. And it's funny because when Vashti was on, she called me Uncle Tootsie, and Chris's nieces addressed me as Uncle Hussein. So it's really funny.
Nice.
I think Richard has lost his volume again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hearing you.
Nick, I got one question. You're going to do a Christmas reunion. You're going to do a Christmas reunion, Nick, isn't it? Hello?
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 Yes, we can hear you, Richard.
Right. It must be the sensitivity of the speaker.
Yes,
you're going to do the, I'm speaking right up to laptop now.
No, we can hear you, Richard. He's just speechless.
Oh. You're going to do a reunion in December. Do you know when? Are we got a particular day or date? Can you hear me?
Nick, that's a question to you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Richard. I was looking at this. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just you're going to set a date in December for another reunion. Have you set the date?
No, not as yet. I mean, I know we were looking at in the middle of 2022.
No. A Zoom meeting.
Zoom meeting. Sorry. Zoom meeting. Well, I'm thinking of Christmas. Thinking around about Christmas time. We can do it. We can actually we can all dress up in our crazy Christmas gear and come on board, and whether we're wearing an elf's hat.
We don't do that in England.
Okay. I think for those of us who celebrate Christmas, I mean, in terms of just the festivities point of view, you know, just nothing inappropriate, I would say. So just
Father
the
Christmas
usual.
outfit.
Say again.
A Santa Claus outfit.
Well, I think that would be for you. That would be much more suited than I would. I think I would wear the elf hat or something like that. That's what I would mostly wear.
Well, just the hat.
Oh, just the hat. Okay.
Donald, you were holding a sign up for us. What was it saying?
Oh, I was, and I realized that the camera inverted the Dulcie, you're muted.
Yeah. So
Dulcie.
She knows she doesn't know how to unmute.
That's what I'm trying to get her to unmute.
Dulcie, can you hear me?
Nod.
Nod.
Yes, I can hear you.
There we go.
Right, now we can hear you.
There we go.
Hello.
I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I can hear you guys. I'm listening.
Do you
I know you
recognize?
were listening. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, Hussein, I forget to say
recognize
happy
Chris?
birthday to you as well.
Okay.
You'll have to introduce me to the member of the family. But I know
Okay.
Christine and Hussein.
Well, you'll see up on there the other gentleman up there who is a lighter version of me with an almost similar shirt. That's Donald, and Donald is on the Mohead leg. Mom, his dad is Fred on there. Richard on there. He is on the Canadian side. He is off of Lyle's leg on that side. I think you've because you've got in touch with Lyle. Richard, who was your mom again? And this one. Harvey, your dad is Harvey, right?
Harvey's the dad and
Harvey's the
Pat is
dad. Got it. So he's on the Harvey side, and now obviously you know Sharina. Now the new ones that we have, I'm not fully versed on. Say again.
Who's Pharaoh?
Hi.
Who's
I'm
Pharaoh?
Bibi Jaitoon's granddaughter.
Dulcie wouldn't. Bibi Jaitoon was one of my father's sisters. Dulcie.
Yeah.
So far
One
as
of your
her
fathers.
granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, Joe is my dad.
Oh, I've lost you there.
I am
Yeah.
Bibi Jaitoon's granddaughter also.
Right. So there's quite a few from the Jaitoon side. Who else do we have on which of the other legs? Do we have the Basuran? Do we have any from there? Yes.
And Baby
That's-
Krang.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll have to show you the chart, Mom, a little later as to who we have on here, so then you can kind of follow where everybody is on there. So I'll get that information to you so that you can we can simplify it a little bit better. So there's quite a few.
Can we put Trinidad on the list? I've never been to Trinidad. Is that a good place to meet and vacation? Trinidad?
For Carnival, yes.
Otherwise, no?
We have to take a look because Barbados tends to be more of the hot spot than Trinidad. Trinidad is very industrial right now. I mean, yes, it has some beautiful places and everything else.
Guyana has a greater variety of things to see. You don't have to be in Georgetown with all the confusion.
You mean Barbados?
No, Guyana.
Guyana, okay. I mean, I know it has some
I'm
places
telling
on
her.
there.
I'm talking to Georgette. I was just mentioning.
Right.
Just in passing, Dulcie, when you went to Aruba in 1951,
yes,
you would have met Uncle Kadim, obviously, and you would have met Georgette's grandfather, Uncle Mohid.
Yes.
And Aunt Man.
Yes.
And you're also, well, Georgette is his granddaughter.
Oh, Georgette's granddaughter. Oh dear, I've lost. Everybody's so grown up now. Where is Georgette?
Here is Georgette.
Which one? Yeah, Georgette. Yeah. Oh dear. We got a little picture here with Iqbal and Jaden.
Yeah, you were showing us a picture, but we couldn't see it.
That's Uncle Mohid and Auntie Mam.
Okay, yes, I recognize the face. And they said, yes, that's your granddad or your dad?
Her grandfather.
Georgette's grandfather.
Yes, right. But I recognize the face.
Daddy's brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I met him. And there was another one.
Uncle Kadim, Uncle
another
Hadif.
brother. When I met Kadim, of course, your dad.
Uncle Hadif.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
And his daughter was trying to get on, but she can't get on.
Oh. Right.
Nick is
Who
gone.
is
So
having-
he's gone together.
He's
Oh,
down
he's
there.
down there. Oh, it's a different picture.
Oh, I'm missing him.
Hold up.
Right.
Farah, I'll get Donald to send you my information because I can't get it to go.
Okay. Oh, you couldn't get anything going there?
No.
Okay. I'm just
Lucky
writing.
I'm on this, so let me be happy.
Okay.
Oh, could I just check something? Farah,
Yes.
your grandmother is Jaitu?
Correct.
Yes.
So, and Rose is her last daughter.
Yes, my aunt.
Now, Donald, you're asking me details of, are you in touch with her?
My aunt Rose, yes, we speak.
Well, Donald would like her details.
Sure, but were you not able to get it from Carol, her daughter? Because or Raymond, her son.
I have not talked to either of them.
Okay, so,
Farah will do the linking.
yeah, I can do it. The only issue I had, I'd recently tried connecting with her, calling her, and I wasn't able to get a hold of her. So I don't know, Sharifa and Shanaz, if you guys have spoken to her recently.
I spoken to her at the beginning of the COVID, but
Yeah.
I spoke with
what information are you looking for?
Well, in my case, the number I have for her, every time I call, that I guess this last few weeks I've been calling her, I wasn't able to get a hold of her.
For who?
Anyway, just to not digress, we can.
Auntie Rose or
Sorry?
Carol?
Auntie Rose.
Okay, I have her number.
Yeah.
I'll give her a call and I will link her up.
I'm sorry, what Rose are you trying to call? Khan? Not Rose Khan.
Rose Khan, yes.
Yeah.
She's in Florida.
And Donald wanted the details of that. She was at the reunion in Toronto.
No, I have Rose's number. I've been in touch with Rose. I don't know lately, but all right now.
She lives by me. I can give you the info.
Oh, that's right.
I can give Donald the number.
No, he's not. Okay, I'd like to introduce my husband, Edward, if you can see him here.
Hello, family.
He's a busy guy today. Tell them what you're doing.
Oh, I'm trying to smoke some brisket.
Oh,
he's the brisket. And how big is it?
It's about 18 pounds.
So I don't know. We need a lot of people to eat this brisket.
And you see, we have to get technology to the point where you can zoom it over.
It's out there. All night he's been smoking it.
Did you realize you were marrying into this large, crazy, wild family?
It's taken me 20 years, but yeah, I've finally come to grips with it.
So we have, at the moment, well, I'm in York in England, and Iqbal is in Edmonton, and Dulcie is in London. Sharina is in Toronto, and Anna Jones is in South London.
Yes.
Hello.
And my sister Baby's in Gatineau, Canada.
Baby's in,
yeah, we met Baby at the last reunion.
And by the way, one of the females has been a carnival queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell him more, Bibi.
Well, that was a long time ago. I have a photograph where after I was crowned in Guyana in 1962. I will post it so everybody can see it.
Was that the one in the newspapers?
Yes, that's the one.
Was it Miss Pepsi Cola or something?
No, yes, I represented the Gar Brothers, Pepsi Cola. Another time I was Miss XM Rum. Didn't drink the stuff. That was such a long time ago. But yes, I was. That was, I think it was the LCP fair they used to have down in Georgetown.
Yes.
And I entered it without telling my parents because they were pretty strict with their daughters. But I was
a rebel.
I wasn't a wild child, but
I know the feeling.
Yes.
And I thought one of the
yes,
I thought one of the prizes was
yeah.
Pepsi Cola for life.
It was lovely. No, I think they gave just a cash prize, which was handy. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, my eldest daughter Michelle, when we lived in England, she was Miss Croydon.
Yes, Sasha.
Hello.
Hello, Sasha.
Pardon me?
Hi, Sasha.
Yes, she was Miss.
Yeah, continue, baby.
Miss
Continue.
Croydon.
Miss Croydon, and then she went on to do the Miss London competition, and then she was third. She was third, but she kind of did it herself because I did not encourage her, but she just wanted to do it. So what I'm saying is that I did my little bit in Guyana.
Did she
so
tell
she
you?
went a little bit further.
Did she tell you she was going to
pardon
do
me?
it?
Oh yeah, she did. She did talk to me about it because I had to get her the dress and all the what's name, and I was happy to do that. I was happy to do that. And she right now she's a housewife now. She's married with 5 kids.
Oh yeah.
Anna, you know them all. Anna.
You'll have to send on the tree.
Yeah, earlier this year, as Anna said previously, we had hoped to go to Guyana in March. So she was flying out to Guyana via
Toronto.
Ontario, Ottawa.
Toronto.
No, via Toronto. I'm so sorry. So when the day before we were to fly out, they had all the upheaval in Guyana, political upheaval, and then there was the COVID. So she flew out here to my place and we decided not to go to Guyana. So she stayed here for just under 2 weeks with me. Yeah.
I forgot
In
where you
Gatineau.
lived.
In Quebec.
I live in Quebec.
Sasha has disappeared. Alex Beaumoretz is my nephew.
No, I haven't disappeared. I'm changing computer.
Oh.
Oh.
Can I just say happy birthday to Iqbal while there's an interlude? Hi.
This family is so huge. I never realized there are so many of us.
Nick,
you know,
you're
I
on
mean,
But Bibi, not only is it huge, they're also very nice, aren't they?
Oh,
lovely. I think
lovely.
all of you are lovely. I'm so pleased that quite a lot of you have asked to be my friend on Facebook. I love it. I spend most of my day on my iPad, right? It keeps me so busy. I love it, love it. I really
If anybody
love it.
has any
It's
contact
wonderful.
on the Majo side, Mat Barali Majo, Mat Barali and Majo, if anybody knows anybody who's related to my grandmother's side of the family, I'd like to find more of those people.
Okay.
So, Batun Barali Bacchus married, Mohid. So I'm looking for more ancestors on that side. So Majo and Mat Barali. Anybody knows
Georgette,
anybody?
what was your mother? What was your grandmother's maiden name?
Bacchus.
Oh, she was a Bacchus.
Like
From which part of Guyana?
From Berbice. She was married. Her brothers were Joe and Satur. Sat,
Okay.
Uncle Joe and
Remember
Uncle
Joe
Sat.
Bacchus. But my mother's maiden name is Bacchus, and she's from New Hampshire, from Port Morant on the Berbice side.
Okay, well, Donald's holding up my grandmother's picture, but all we see is the name. Donald, lower it. There you go.
Right.
But
I don't
and
think,
you
I
said
don't think your
you're related to Satur Bacchus?
Yes, that's my uncle.
And he was in Aruba too?
Joe Bacchus was in Aruba, yes. Uncle
No, but
Joe.
what Satur Bacchus? He was in Aruba as well?
Yes.
So is that the same Satur Bacchus?
Yes, that's my
Oh.
grandmother's brother.
And was Uncle Joe's wife called Lena?
We've got Satar's daughter, right, Donald? Is it the daughter?
Don't ask Donald.
Don't go.
I don't know. Donald doesn't know.
No. Satar's daughter connected us. Thinking she was on this stream, but she's already connected
Sayora,
on the other side.
Sayora, what's her name? Oh goodness, can't think of it.
All right, Donald and I speak every night. So.
Georgette, my grandmother was Zina Bacchus because Abdul Qadir married the other sister. Didn't
Yes,
he?
I think so. Yes.
And I
so
believe
Abdul
there's some
Qadir-
relation, right, Tutsi? Satar, you said, is related to, you think he's a relative of your mom?
I think so, because Bacchus or variation Baksh is a very common name in that part of the woods in New Amsterdam and Berbice. And the woman who's married to Michael Caine is blood relative of ours on my
Really?
mother's side.
Shakira. Oh.
Yeah. So you can send a begging letter like I did to her.
My brothers didn't Azim go to school with her?
Yes, oh, really?
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he written a begging letter to her as well?
No.
But Donald,
So,
I
sorry,
think you
Kat,
can...
I think Satar's daughter connected with us, right, Donald? Thinking that she was on this side of the family, but she's really on the other side
Her
of the
name
family.
is Sayora Bacchus Jackie Frankel.
You have her contact, right?
I'm connected with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got some connection.
Right. Okay. Just for the others, just to remind them that my father and his brother, Abdul Kadim, married two sisters.
Yes.
So two brothers married two sisters. So Richard's first cousins.
First. Okay.
More than first.
Short of being brothers.
Yes.
And we grew up together in Aruba. They had 5 children, and there were 6 of us on our side.
Uh-oh.
What you up to, Jen?
And Sharina was the youngest sister I never had. She's only 6 years younger than me.
And he made me call him. If I asked him for a glass of water, I had to say, Uncle Tootsie, please.
See
for
how
a glass
manly
of water.
she has become?
And if I simply said Uncle Tootsie, I had to say Uncle Tootsie, please. Yeah. What happened? Come, let me introduce you to my other grandson. Come quickly and say hello. Just hi. Just
Put your face
come. That's Uncle Tootsie, and I think Chris
Hello.
met you. This is Jaden.
So they quarantined and they're safe.
They're quarantined and they're safe, and I'm the house of exile because I had to go. Oh, come and see Uncle. Come. Where are you? Come and see Uncle Sasha. He met you too.
Did.
Sasha?
Yes.
Here is Jaden.
Hello, Nathan. I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Toronto.
Right. Well, he's visiting Toronto. They're living in Barbados now.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Like a Barbados.
Right, Sasha, and you're on the other computer now.
I am indeed. It's easier to hold. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
You're very
Your card
welcome.
hasn't arrived
Happy
yet.
birthday for Nick too.
It's in the post. It's always in the post. Blame the post office, not me.
Well, he was only asking for the address 2 days ago. Was it yesterday?
You mean to say you don't have my address?
I do.
It's on BBC News every day.
Never mind. I may not have it either.
Sasha's mother is my sister,
It's
who died
Nick's
3 years
birthday
ago.
too today.
Sorry?
It's Nick's birthday as
Oh,
well.
I know, yeah.
I know
Happy
David.
birthday. Nick, where's Nick? Oh, yes. Sorry, the computer is a bit slow here.
And Sasha, do you know Nick's mother, Dulcie?
No.
Dulcie, you don't know Sasha? You met Sasha when he was a little boy.
I'm trying to find Dulcie on my...
She's,
Bottom left.
yeah, she's waving now.
Taking up for her?
Yes,
No.
yes. I did meet Sasha
Oh.
and,
In
here in England, when they were living, I think, in Paddington.
Yes.
I met them. I don't think he remember me anyway.
He hardly remembers me, so I don't find that.
But I haven't changed. I'm the same, so...
He remembers me.
Ask-
So
Yeah. Yeah.
he must have a selective memory.
Blame
I'll
my
tell
parents.
you a story about Sasha when they
No.
lived in London.
He said no.
No stories about me. All about me.
Too late.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
No, you
not-
have to have the person's permission, and he said no.
No.
He knows, there's so many stories about Sasha.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll tell you, when his father and mother went away to France for about a week, and we went to their house to babysit, and we were
Can I
having...
give the answer? Can I give the punchline?
And his
Yeah,
father,
give it.
typical Vladimir, had laid everything out, what time, what meals we would have, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whichever day it was having, fish fingers. So as the way we served fish fingers was to put them all onto one plate, take it to the table, and then we served ourselves. But the way they serve fish fingers is you put it straight onto the plate for each person. So as Chris was piling the fish fingers onto this plate, Sasha's eyes were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually he said, "That's enough."
He was only about 5.
Oh.
Do you remember that,
Of course
Sasha?
I do.
He must remember that. He was trying for it to be any left to him.
And Sasha likes his food. That's the French side of him coming out. And just one other story. His father does everything. You can predict 10 o'clock tomorrow morning what he'll be doing, 11 o'clock. And he always went to the supermarket every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. And he went up the same aisles, bought exactly the same thing, up and down. And one occasion he was away and my sister went instead and took Sasha. And of course she went in a totally different way, buying different things. And he objected. And you remember when you used to have these little fits, you would jump about 3 feet up.
I still have them, I get my way.
She had to pretend she didn't know who he was. Because he kept saying, no, Papa goes this way, and Papa doesn't buy that, he buys this.
Oh, nice.
That's meant for you.
But Sasha, you feel free to tell any story about me.
I'll email them. I won't embarrass you on your birthday.
No, feel free. After 17, nothing embarrasses me.
No. They can be embarrassing stories. Don't worry.
I think that's the best ones. Those are the best ones when we can talk about those things.
Nick, Sasha doesn't know everybody on the screen. Would you like to introduce them?
Me? Yeah, I guess I can do that. Actually, I wanted to first, you might see, do you know Georgette, Alex?
Yes, I met the last time.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
And then you've got, who have I got here? We've got Anna at the top. She's on, right, the stand as I go. She's on the other, one of the other legs, the Jaitun side. Is that right?
No, I'm not.
Sorry.
Basiran,
thank you. So that's the Basiran leg. That's the 12th child of Gopeah.
Yes, my mother was the last. Yeah.
Right. So that on there. Then we obviously got Donald. He's on the Mohib side.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
over
you
there.
know Donald
Right.
from the last.
Okay. You know Sharina. Then we got Farah. Farah, you're on the Jaitun side. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that. Obviously, you remember Richard when we were there. Now, I wanted to introduce us to Shako. Hi, Shako.
Hello.
Hi. Could you introduce yourself, who you are, because you're new to me.
Okay, I am Aziman's granddaughter.
So we have an Aziman. Okay.
I don't have the book in front of me, what number she is.
Number 5.
Yeah, I believe. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dolly is your mother.
Dolly is my mother. Uncle Manny is my uncle that lives in Norway.
You know he
that
died
just
earlier
passed
this year.
Yeah, he passed in May.
In January.
Who was that?
Manny.
Oh, okay.
Rabbi's
Gopeah,
brother.
right?
Yes, Gopeah, yeah. Ruben is also my uncle. He died in Guyana, that's Batzo's father. And Rabbi, and we have Missy and Eileen.
Yes.
Everybody passed now. Uncle Manny was the last one.
And didn't you have an aunt called Lillian?
She died a long time ago, since she was in her 40s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Georgette is leaving us. So Georgette, I'll send you some
Thank you,
songs.
Georgette.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Georgette.
Georgette, good to see you.
She has another meeting.
And Sasha, sorry, Alex is short for Alexander, and the Russian diminutive of Alexander is Sasha.
That's right.
Like a singer. That's why we call him Sasha. Sasha hasn't been introduced to BB's iPad. BB was the carnival queen in Guyana many years.
Okay.
And she's going to post a photograph of her. I remember that photograph. You're wearing a white outfit with a tiara.
I shake my hands like that.
It was like a carnival outfit. It's like a swimming costume type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe you saw another one too. Sorry?
We know from Notting Hill.
Yeah, but this is in Guyana.
Yes.
No, from Guyana. No. Those donkeys years ago. So I had this big thing they'd made. It's like how, based on the Trinidad Carnival outfits. And I think it was like a red swimming costume type of thing with jewels or something on it. But I forgot all about that. I think I still got this somewhere upstairs, but that was a long time ago.
Are you going to send us pictures?
I might have it. I might have it on my computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's still on the internet.
I shall find it.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that. You can post that.
Okay, if I find it.
You have a sister called Janet, don't you?
Yeah. We do. Actually, Janet and Anna had here in March first The three of us to Guyana, yes. I have a sister, Janet. I have two sisters. I have two sisters that have passed away. That's Angelina, the eldest, and the second eldest was Aisha. So there are 8 of us left now.
Where does Janet
Which
live?
Anne is the youngest? Sorry?
Where does Janet live?
She lives in England. She lives in
Preston.
Lancashire.
Oh, right. Just on the other side of the Pennines
Yes.
from us.
Yes.
You need to have your own little reunion in that side of the world and meet each other.
Well, we could meet up in 2022.
No, you could meet up before 2022. You're right over there.
I know. Well, Gillian, Linda's sister, lives not far from Preston.
Oh.
But but they're in a sort of isolation because her husband's had a kidney transplant.
Oh.
Too many
Alex, you
people.
got to communicate with Nick.
Yes. And Richard lives down in Cardiff, where they have, strangely enough, in the United Kingdom, England has different rules from Scotland and Wales.
Wales, yeah. Yeah.
Don't you, Richard?
Yes. But we're all one United Kingdom, though.
Yes.
We're all one United Kingdom.
Not Ireland.
Yes, in Wales, you're not allowed out after midnight on a Saturday, am I right?
Are you bored, Richard?
Tomorrow with a Welshman who's just come back from Wales, so we don't know if he's going to bring COVID with him.
Yes, Chris's niece is married to a Welsh guy who surprisingly supports Wales when they're playing England at rugby.
As we all do.
But when
excuse me,
we support England.
That was nice.
But when Ireland are playing France, who do you support, Sasha?
Has to be France. Red flags all over my house.
They let you live in the country?
He lives in Dublin.
Yeah.
And he doesn't drink Guinness.
Who lives in Dublin?
Sasha.
Alex Bogomulet.
On the screen. And yeah, he's not a Guinness drinker. I don't understand. What went wrong?
Oh, I do drink Guinness.
Do you? Oh, okay, that's good to hear.
I wouldn't believe a word Hussein says. Even the stories from my childhood, they're not true. My brother.
So Richard, what is the top drink in Wales now? What do they have there?
Wales? Oh, we drink anything. But everything is international now. The whole of the UK, we've got all these microbreweries everywhere. So, we supplied, everywhere you go now is microbreweries. So we drink anything. But I still like the Irish stuff. The Irish stuff is good.
Guyana produces a nice rum that has been #1, El Dorado rum.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. It's been #1 for a couple of years, and now
one of the drinks we had in Aruba. I don't know if Richard, if you had any of the Aruban rum. But I managed to smuggle a bottle back to Canada on my way back home last year. And the views from people who've tried it, my friends who've tried it, they cannot believe how amazing that Aruban rum was, because it's got a little touch of sweetness to it compared to Jamaican rum. I think, I'm not going to say it too loudly, but I think I've managed to convert my Jamaican woman to like Aruban rum instead of Jamaican rum, but that's something separately. But it was a really nice. I don't know if anyone's ever tried it, but if you ever do find it, it's not something that's imported very frequently. But if you ever do try it, it's very smooth, but it's not harsh. That's the nice thing about it. So a lot of people will enjoy something like that. I don't know if you tried it, Richard, when you were there. Alex, I can't remember if you had any other Reuben rum out there, or Donald. But it was delicious.
It's your best hidden secret, Nick. Never invited us for a rum session.
And Nick, I have a story for your Jamaican lady.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you know that there used to be a West Indies Federation, all the English-speaking islands, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, not Guyana, Trinidad, etc. And in Jamaica, the chief minister at the time was called Norman Manley.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
The leader of the opposition was called Alexander Bustamante, who was his first cousin. And unlike the rest of the West Indies, whenever they had elections in Jamaica, there was always violence. And Bustamante was on a campaign trail up country, and there was violence. And he rang his office in Kingston, and he said he wanted them to send his gun. And with all the crackling line, they couldn't quite understand him. And they said, what? He said, send me my gun. And he said, G is in Jamaica, U is in Europe, and N is in pneumonia.
Well, that's like the Guyanese
Tell
are.
him.
They say A is orange.
And A is an orange.
He has his name, wonderful name of Alexander, and he was knighted Sir Alexander Bustamante. This was about 1958, 59.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. I love that. I'll tell her that. So yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I love that. Love that. Yeah. So so Sharina, do you realize your grandson looks very similar to my son? Do you realize that?
Who's talking?
Yeah.
Yours? Yes.
Hey.
Is your son's name Jaden as well?
Yeah, he's Jaden too as well. So he's kind of almost got a similar looks. I'm looking at him.
hair now, Mom.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Jaden.
You say hi.
Yeah, hi, Jaden. There he is. Yeah. Hi, Jaden.
He's growing to quite a young man now.
Yeah.
How old is he now, Nick?
Right.
How old are you now, Jaden?
How old are you? Try to remember. You just don't want to talk about age. Okay.
Then
All
one
right.
photograph
He's
up
20.
Can you see that little boy?
Oh wow.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Why are you cancelled?
At the age of 6. Oh, this is my first passport, and written there underneath the photograph is my father's handwriting. It says, "Child cannot write." And I had this passport for 10 years.
Oh, gosh.
The only time I saw immigration officers smile, you imagine 12, 13, 14, they're looking at this photograph and me looking totally changed, and they see "Child cannot write."
Nothing changes.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hey, Shako,
That's when I went to Trinidad.
Hi, Donald.
were you able to reach out to the lady in New York to see about setting up an interview for me?
Oh, I haven't yet, but I will. I know. I haven't gotten to it because I'm busy right now doing some stuff in the home, and so, between work and that, but I didn't forget about it.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, how you doing? Good to see you.
You too.
Sorry that
Yeah.
the doorbell was going.
So I would like to
I
know.
missed something. What did I miss?
Hold on, Sharina. Yeah, go ahead, Chaco.
Nick, how are you related to Hussein?
Okay, so Hussein is my uncle,
I'm
Your
not hearing
dad's
anybody
brother?
anymore.
my
Sorry,
father
folks.
is
I
his
told you I'm
brother.
challenged. I don't have on my earphones. Can't hear you without that.
Okay. There you go.
No one
There
I
you go,
could hear
Sharina.
anybody. I don't have on my earphones. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
so as you rudely interrupted this conversation, Sharina, I'm just kidding. No, Shaiko, my uncle Hussein, he is my father's youngest brother, and on that leg, it is my grandfather, that is Hussein's father, is known as Said, and I think he's
Uncle
the
Said.
Yes.
I know Uncle Said.
You remember my grandfather?
Yes, so that's your grandfather, Uncle Said, used to stay with my uncle in Georgetown when he goes back to Guyana from Aruba.
Yes, that's right.
Whenever he goes to Guyana from Aruba, he stays with Uncle Rafi in Georgetown. And they would come and visit my mom every time he comes there. And he was there for a while, so I know him like pretty much, I know him. I know Uncle Said.
Daddy. But this is
Grandpa.
This is before they moved permanently to Guyana.
Yes. I don't know, but he used to be in Aruba, and I know when he goes back, he would stay with Uncle Rabi, and they would bring him to Berbice to visit my mom.
Right. Yes.
And so I have a clear memory, but I don't know his wife, but I know his wife's sister.
So I can keep these.
Oh, Auntie Baby.
One lived in New York. A few years ago, she passed away.
Yes.
I don't know for her name.
And Auntie Baby, that's my mother's sister.
Okay. And I met also Anne Hussein. Is Anne Hussein your cousin?
I don't know.
She used to live in London, and she moved to Florida when Uncle Manny visited me like 15, 16 years ago. She came at my place.
But I have a cousin, Auntie Baby's daughter, Anne, who did live in England and moved to Florida, but she didn't have the surname Hussein.
Okay, because Uncle Manny's wife, Auntie Asberg, would say Anne Hussein.
I have feeling it's a different Anne we're talking about.
I don't know, but she spoke with her and we met.
Yes, because, we're such a large family related by blood that it becomes, that's why I moved to England to marry somebody here.
I think we all try to get away.
I mean, I was fortunate to reach Auntie Baby. Auntie Baby always correspond with Mom, and you even visit me in New York. You remember
That's
that?
right. We did. I was right. Actually, your mom and I think we were the same. We were the same age.
Yeah.
And growing up, my mom used to take us all to number 11 to stay with her mother, Ma.
Okay.
And Auntie Aziman and Auntie Jaitun lived opposite, and Rose and Dolly and I, we were around the same age. We all used to get up to a lot of things, you know? So
My
yes,
mom always
that's right.
speak of
So
you guys.
your
Yeah.
yeah, and your mom came down to Georgetown. She used to stay with us. I think she got a job in Georgetown at one time, and she used to stay with us.
She did. She told. We didn't know that she was married then. Yeah, but she told us.
Yes, and also, Manny, when he used to come down, he used to stay at us, and Rabbi and Zabida.
Okay, yeah.
So I was younger then, so they were older, so they all used to come down because we lived in Georgetown. Auntie Aziman used to come and stay with us too.
I don't know her.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Well, I remember Auntie Jaitun, Auntie Katura, and Auntie Aziman. I don't know Auntie Janie, but so yes. So those are the ones. And Uncle Syed. Uncle Syed is the one that got me a job, my second job at Gafour's.
You still owe me some
That's
royalties,
right, because he was.
you know?
Sorry.
You still owe me some royalties for that, some commission.
Yes, yeah. He was doing the books for Gafour's.
That's right.
At the time.
Yes.
And then they needed somebody to work as a cashier, so he asked my parents, my mom, and then I went for an interview. I got the job.
Oh, good, good. He always did that to lots of people, lots of younger people.
Yes, yes.
He taught me to type. He insisted that I learn to type when I was 8 years old.
Oh, really?
So I haven't typed it. I mean, I still know the ASD kind of thing on the typewriter, even now, 60, 70 years later, thereabouts.
He was a lovely and kind man. I remember him.
Like his son.
I don't know. I don't know the other uncles very well, but I've met Uncle Kadim, like when I lived in England. Anna, you know that.
Yeah,
because we went
I met
there.
him in Golders Green, yeah.
Yes, and I know Uncle Hanif, but the Uncle Mohid, I don't know.
Uncle Hanif, was he the one that lived in Barbados that we visited?
Yes,
that's right.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
His daughter was trying to connect, and she was going to message Nick, but I don't know what happened.
And is she coming through?
No, Nick, did you get through to her?
He's
Nick,
on
did you get through to Bibi?
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything from her. I was hoping that she would come back to try and join back on so I can catch her. Because usually what I have is I have a list of everybody who's already on, and then I have a list of those who've already gone, and then a list of those who are coming on. So if you're able to get in touch with her quickly or some sort.
Well, I'd gotten in touch and told her to try again, and I told her to message you, so she might have messaged you on Messenger.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen anything on the message side just yet, but if she could try again, because the Zoom is still going, so if she could try again to join on, I can add her on. It'll be nice to add her on as well.
Donald, I wonder if in your research, if your grandmother's brother, who's called Joe Bacchus, if you find out any information about him, if he was married, his wife was called Lena. Because I knew there was an Auntie Lena and Uncle Joe in Aruba. And then they separated or divorced and she married somebody else.
I've heard that name and I've seen it several places.
Okay.
I'll have to check. She wrote her tree in this Bible in the 80s, but she didn't have marriages of her brothers.
Okay.
But she listed she listed Sitar Bacchus, she listed Jonide Bacchus, and then she put a Muhammad Yassin, Yassin, which Georgette and I, we cannot place who that is, but she wrote it down as a sibling.
Yes. But just to give you an idea of how, on my mother's side, my mother's mother died when she was 32. And then her father her father remarried and had an awful lot of children. So I have sort of half cousins and half uncles, you know, around the world. And Sharina may know one or two of them. Joe, who lived in, or Little, who lived in the Bahamas. Do you remember him? But anyway, one of the issues was that there were so many, because I was born in Aruba and only went to Ghana when I was 15. So I never really met any of Daddy's sisters that you were talking about, Auntie Giant Toon and so on. And I have photographs of my father with Giant Toon sitting on the steps when he went to Guyana on one occasion. And I think he went to Guyana when his mother died. And I think that was 1954. And Shako, I don't know if you remember, you wouldn't know, you wouldn't have been born.
I have no idea.
But one of the other things is that I'm sure we'd like to have information about my grandmother, your great-grandmothers or great-great-grandmothers. We don't know too much about her, and we've seen photographs of her. And I suppose I should try and do something by going to the colonial offices here for the records, because they kept meticulous records, all of the indentured laborers who came from the Indian subcontinent to the West Indies and places south. And Farah, is that your daughter?
Yeah, this is my daughter, sorry, Alessia, my teenage daughter, my 16-year daughter, about to turn 25.
Wow. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
No, she's 16.
Jaden, come and meet a cousin, another cousin of yours. Come.
Yeah.
Come and meet another distant cousin of your age.
My son is somewhere.
Who is this, Sharina?
Huh?
Is this Leah?
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I just don't want to end this conversation.
Go ahead.
Since everybody is family, I would like to step out and wish Hussein and Iqbal a happy birthday. And I'll catch up with you guys sometime again.
Thank you.
Okay? I believe in you now, okay? Bye for now. Bye.
Sorry, Hussein, did you say you have a picture of Jaitun, my grandmother?
Yeah. Sorry?
Did you say you have a picture of, you do?
Yes.
Of Jaitun? Would you mind sending that to me? I'd love to.
I'll have to go and dig it out. I certainly will do
Is
that.
it-
I'm sitting on the...
The same?
Yep, I'll do that.
No, that's what I have.
If you send me your address.
Okay.
And we'll leave.
We need, yes, get a picture of Bibi Jaitun in the book. We don't have her in the book.
No,
Okay,
we don't.
but no, that picture that you're holding up there, what is it?
No, that's
Which one is that?
your mother, but we don't have.
Yeah, that's my mom.
We don't have your grandmother.
No.
But I think Hussein
Yeah.
said he has a picture of her.
Georgette posted on the Gopeah site. Who's the other one we don't have? Aziman, I think is the other one that we're missing.
She is in the book.
Ah, hang on. No, I'm getting mixed up. I have a picture of Keturah.
So it's not, okay.
That's Auntie Pinky?
No, Keturah was her sister.
Okay.
Yes, no, I have, sorry, I've got that mixed up, but I will check that out anyway. I might have that. I was thinking of this photograph of my father and Keturah.
Okay.
Jaitun.
Anybody that has any pictures worthy of sharing, please do so on the Gopeah site. And, if you can send them to me, because I would like to update this book with, some better photographs and more complete. So I'll be reaching out to you to fill in some of the blanks that we are trying to, cover, because there's been a lot that's not in the book.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Donald?
Yes.
Donald, would you be creating an add-on to that book, or you're going to have a separate book?
Well, it'll be this book in a different format. So it's going to be, I'm starting with this and adding to it.
Right.
So there's lots of names, lots of descendants that have been born that are not in here.
Right.
And some pictures and things. So, yes, I need everyone's help that can help, because we're.
So this is on the Gopeah side?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, we've got photos, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because I know some of the pictures we've seen from the book is like I said, and we haven't had a chance to meet up like this to be able to find who's who. So when you have your pictures and you post them onto Gopeah, remember if you can just add the names if you know who is who, or even just ask the questions out. We don't know who this is. Does anybody recognize it too as well? Because somewhere out there between the combination of the Gopeah Descendants as well as the Bacchus side too as well, I think there's some link in communication and family connection too as well, that somebody in there might know something that who's who. So I went onto the Gopeah site to see some of those pictures, also see some of the video that was recorded, I think back in the 90s. So to be able to see some of the faces, and at the same time too as well is kind of connecting the dots type of thing. And then obviously, Donald, we can add more onto that spreadsheet that you have, and we could kind of go from there. And then obviously, for those who are on here right now at the moment, with our children, I should say, it's a kind of, they're not going to be interested in anything like that right now. But come a little later on, when they have kids of their own, if they haven't done so, they'll be kind of wondering who is this Gopeah person that we're descended from. And I know we'd like to kind of leave some kind of legacy of some sort to sort of like say, okay, this is your great-great-great-grandfather, grandparent, uncles, aunts, and everything else. And one of the nicest things, especially come out of Aruba, is the communication reconnection in our family, which is what, just to get in touch to say, oh, hey, hi, I didn't realize I'm related to you. A classic example is that my older brother, Abdul, he lives in St. Albans in England. And my uncle, Hussein's cousin, Lyle, in the Kadim side, he also lives in St. Albans, he and his family. And they didn't even know that they were related. So I'm saying to my brother, I bet you must have seen this brown guy walking around St. Albans and you don't even realize you're related to him or something of that nature. But we managed to put two and two together and send off the telephone numbers, and they managed to get in touch. My mom, Dulcie, she remembers Lyle too as well. So she had a chance to call him and connect by phone to him as well. So it was definitely a nice thing to have happen. And like I said, you don't know who is living in your town with you, who is related to you. And just a simple reaching out and saying, hi, hey, how you doing? And showing a little bit of information will be able to sort of connect. Someone might turn around and go, okay, why are you connecting to me? I can't lend you money or anything, we just like looking at our children basically to sort of like in a few years time, just to sort of like say, okay, so these are my relatives. Okay, great, wonderful. So that's why it was nice meeting those outside, like today as well as last year, in our family tree, and then just grow from there. Yes, cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Have a glass of champagne?
Yes.
I have to have a glass of wine for that.
Yeah.
Tasha used to live in Reims, so he's very snobbish about the brand of champagne. This is Canard du Chêne.
Ooh, one of your favorites, Chris.
Which is not
Veuve Clicquot. Was it Veuve Clicquot you like, Chris?
But it's the champagne.
Wow.
It's the champagne they use for the bicentenary celebration in France.
Oh. I'm driving,
That's
so I'm
okay.
going to have a little wine.
It's a good champagne.
It's a bit early for you, Serena.
It's 6:30 in the UK.
Exactly.
Time for a glass of wine, Anna.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm drinking a little wine. I'm driving just now.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. I must tell you a story about this huge family that I have, both my father's and other side. Chris and I went to Ghana in can't remember when. 1976, the hot summer there. And in Ghana at that time, you had to declare everything, how much money you had, the value of your watch, your rings and jewelry, you name it. And this guy was asking me all of these sorts of questions. And I could see my brother Duffy just on the other side. And he said, and do you live at whatever the address was? And I said, yes. I said, what on earth is this guy, this immigration officer, whoever he was, asking me all these questions? Then he looked at me and he said, your mother and my mother are cousins. I've never seen this man in my life.
Oh, gosh.
So when I went off and asked Duffy, I said, do you know who that guy is? He said, yeah, I gave him a lift once. And,
and he let you in?
Don't tell anyone.
Coming back to what Nick was saying, Lyle also connected with Harvey Hanif. So Uncle Hanif's eldest son. I think they're living around the same place too.
No, he's
not?
living in Wales, isn't he?
Who?
No, he's living in London. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Harvey Hanif, Bibi's brother.
Yes.
They connected. And coming back to your saying our descendants may not be interested. At my level, well, my sisters, they shared and so forth. None of their children they've looked at the book and that was that. But my grandson was with me, the same Jaden, when I was working on the draft because Auntie Mitzi sent it to me. She said, you know more about, and they had my uncle married to his niece. They had some names wrong, so I was fixing it all up. And they had the pictures, and Jaden was with me at the time. He says, well, how come I'm not in that book? Am I not a relative? And I said, yes, you are. So I mentioned to Georgette, and she says, oh yeah, I'll put his name in. So he's there, and his picture's there, and he's very happy. So he has a book.
Nice.
But you know, you can have 60 people, and only 2 might be interested. But
Just one thing about Harvey Hanif. When I went to Trinidad in 1951 to go to school there, Harvey came with me. He was much older than me, and 2 brothers who were friends of the family. But then they went, so Harvey and I go back a long way. You know, we sort of spent a year in Trinidad together, and then he came to Wales. He studied in Wales. But then I met him again in Guyana in 1963 during the general strike, but then I've lost touch with him.
Harvey Hanif?
Yes, he's in his early 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, but I didn't know he'd gone back to Guyana, that's all.
Yes.
His first wife died.
I don't know.
Yes, she died.
Okay. Farah, did you know that you had such a large zany family?
Speak for yourself.
You're muted. You're muted, Farah. Farah, you're muted.
I said for the first reunion we had back in the 90s, yeah, it was quite large. So yes, I had an inkling, but a lot of you, well, we met a lot of the Mohids back then, the first, and others, but I obviously didn't meet all of you.
Donald is showing a picture right now.
Yeah, that's my mom and my siblings. And so.
Was that the first or the second reunion?
That there was the one in 94. Is that, I believe that picture was the one from 94, correct, Donald?
Yeah, the first one. The first one.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, so that was a nice time.
One, didn't we?
That was in 95.
There was another one after that in Toronto too, wasn't there? Yeah. Yeah, so. Yeah, no, I haven't. And my dad, when we were, well, obviously much younger, I have a secret too. My dad used to tell us about all these names, but I mean, we were quite young. So my dad used to say, you know, I have a lot of cousins and they're all over the world, and one day you'll meet them and we'll, you know, he was always very fond of, he spoke very fondly of his family, always. That was one thing about him. We knew the names as kids growing up. So yeah, he's like the names, when I see them, when I hear them, I knew at one point I heard them as a child. And so he did Aruba. I guess what I wanted to know is why did so many of you went to Aruba?
Very simple answer. In 1929, Esso Standard Oil opened an oil refinery in Aruba, and Shell opened an oil refinery in Curacao, because the oil from Venezuela, from Lake Maracaibo, it's like that, and there's a sandbar across there, and tankers couldn't go in and come out fully laden, and there were no natural port harbor facilities there, but Aruba and Curacao had them. So Esso Standard Oil built the refinery, which became the largest oil refinery in the world, and they then had to go around the whole of the English-speaking West Indies to get people to come and work there.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, you had people from, you know, every island, from British, what was British Honduras, even from Suriname, British Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, all living in Aruba. And what was nice about it, well, not nice, and they had near where we lived, and they had purpose-built houses and purpose-built accommodation for bachelors called BQ, Bachelor Quarters. And it was an agreement with the Aruban government. I mean, it was still Dutch. But the agreement was that when the Arubans, the native Arubans, had reached a certain level of education, that all of these jobs that had been given to foreigners would go to the Arubans.
To them.
So that's
Okay.
why in 1960, my father, there was a layoff procedure, they were made redundant. And the Rubens then took over those jobs. And technically speaking, I was born before 1948, and anybody born before 1948 can go back and live in Aruba if they wish to. So
Really?
so my father and his three brothers left British Guiana and went to Aruba and got what was effectively American wages.
Oh, okay.
And then all of their families
And
came
American
over.
standard of living.
And American standard of living. And I remember, having washing machines, as it sound odd to you, in 1950, unheard of here in England, and huge American cars, and a commissary which had, apples and oranges from California and Florida. We had everything there in the commissary.
So you had a certain standard of living.
Yes.
When you, yeah. That's an
And that
interesting
was-
piece of history.
And so everybody in Aruba always had to go abroad on holiday because it's only 70 square miles.
Yeah.
And most people went, as they said, to the States on holiday. Not to Trinidad or Barbados or Guyana or Venezuela, but to the States.
Interesting.
So my sister went to a secretarial college in Boston, but one
That's
brother,
my mom.
your mother, and others came to the UK, including me, to study tertiary education.
So I guess that's how a lot of you also ended up in the UK as well,
Yes.
from Aruba.
Yes, because that's why I went to school in Trinidad, because my parents thought that if my father was laid off and I was going through the Dutch educational system, they couldn't speak Dutch and they would move to an English-speaking country.
Makes
And it
sense.
would disrupt my education and my brother's education. So I spent, when I was 6, I left home and didn't see my parents for a year. And when I was 10, I left home again and didn't see my parents for 3 years because I was going to school in Trinidad. So we were brought up to believe that, as my mother used to say, if you have to go to China to get an education, you have to go to China to get an education.
For sure, for sure. That's interesting. So that explains quite a bit.
So that's why I have a niece who is so very bright.
Well, my life is reverse of my mother's. I was born in Aruba, and I left Aruba at 10, going on 10 to go to Guyana so that I could get the English education there. And my mother actually was born in Berbice and left when she was 10 to go to Aruba and join the Dutch education there. So it was just the opposite. But when I went to Guyana at the age of 9, it was very difficult because I had to go from the metric system to the imperial system.
To the imperial.
I had to learn about who the hell these knights were around the round table. It was all different. Pounds, shillings, and pence and everything else had to be learned in 9 months because I had to sit the common entrance exam the following
Yeah, I
March.
remember those.
So it was quite a task. But also, my father, they had a lot of bachelors. His family also went to Aruba at the age of 19. They went 19 and so forth. And as again, all the English, anybody who went, they recruited their brother or whatever. It was good money they made. And lots of them invested in the stock exchange. So they made a good bit of money, and by the time they returned wherever they went, it was good.
Good.
And well, it's amazing how, little decisions that were made. That's how my brother met Nick's mother, because their family came over to Aruba to visit in 1951. And Dulcie, who was came and met my brother there, and they took a shine to each other. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, they ended up getting married in Venezuela.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Venezuela.
According to Muslim rites, because my brother had moved to Venezuela. And Nick, of course, you were born in, Nick's older brother, Abdul, was born in Trinidad. And then they came to England, and Nick, you were born here in the UK.
Right.
You were born in London?
I was born in London, Edmonton, London.
North London.
North London. I'm a North Londoner.
So the person who probably knows the least people is probably you, Alex, right? I mean, ancestry-wise, you know everybody here, but ancestry-wise, right?
Mm-hmm. We have a new person. Sorry, Sharina.
We have a new person
who's just joined on. This young lady here, Galaxy J7 Star. Hi. Could you identify yourself?
And Galaxy comes from which tribe? Part of the tribe? Hi, Galaxy.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear us?
Hello.
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 Hi, Galaxy. Can you
Does
hear
anybody
us?
recognize her at all?
No.
Should she be a random person joining into our family group? Hello. Hello, Miss Galaxy.
Just have a seat for a bit.
I don't know if she can hear us. That's the thing. Her audio might be playing up. I don't know. She must be wondering, who are these strange-looking people?
No, the last time we had the Zoom meeting, wasn't there somebody with that kind of nomenclature?
Oh, she's got,
Okay, that's all right. I was going to ask Sharifa. Sharifa, tell us a little bit on your side, because I know you guys be a little quiet. Because one of the things is that we already know that they had the four brothers, my grandfather and so on, and then obviously they had the sisters, which is where many of you who are new on here are from, which is wonderful. Was there a story related to the sisters? Because I think, Shaiko, you seem to have a good information on who, what the sisters were doing in Guyana and places like that. Would that be correct, Shaiko?
Who sisters? Which we were talking about?
It would be Gopeah's daughters, which would
Hi,
be...
Galaxy. I think she's trying to connect.
I think she's trying to. I'm not sure who she's related to or on which side.
No,
but,
I'm Jaitu's granddaughter, third child of Gopeah. And my mother's name is Nazibi. She's Jaitu's daughter. And she got married and she went to live in Badis in Rosal.
Right. Okay. So you're on the Jaitu side.
She was married to Ismail. My father called her Desmond.
Right.
What was your mother's name?
Bibi Nazibi. They used to call her call name was Mother.
Oh.
They used to call her Mother.
Okay. Mother. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So she left number 11. She was born in number 11 and she got married and went to Bermuda.
Right. Okay. Because I know obviously we have the Aziman, the Jaitun, the Basuran. Those are the sisters that obviously went in a different direction, and it'll be nice to hear on the Gopeah Facebook site any of the things that maybe you might remember what your grandmother or mother did, in terms of if there's anything they might have told you about their brothers maybe going off to Aruba to work or go to live, where they last were at, type of thing, you know. And I think that's what Georgette and Donald were after as well in the early stage, to try and connect the sisters of Gopeah, or sorry, the daughters of Gopeah, to try and connect. We know what the brothers did, because Hussein, you were able to tell us a lot about what happened in Aruba. I think it's now hearing what happened to the daughters of Gopeah, what happened with them, where obviously the names have all changed because they got married to somebody else, and the name would have changed, but still being able to connect through that way to find out what happened to your grandmother, or great-grandmother, and if anything can be remembered that can be shared. That's the kind of the connection I think we were trying to establish. That's why we have a few on board today.
Well, my mother was married to, her last name was Ishmael.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I did not hear much stories of the mother and when my sister was young. My eldest sister was a baby when her mother passed, Jaitun. So she was busy with her life, so we didn't hear much stories of her mother. But we did hear a lot of stories of her father, who was John Augustus Benjamin. She told us a lot of stories about him.
Okay, good.
Nick, are you able to connect with Galaxy?
Not as yet. I'm hoping that she looks like she's plugged in. So Galaxy J Star, J7 Star, hello. Can you hear us now?
Galaxy, can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, my dear? Can you tell us who you are?
It isn't a space woman, is it?
That's right, it's not.
No, anyone recognize her?
But just going back to the sisters, it's interesting that the 4 brothers left British Guyana and went to Aruba.
Right.
But none of the sisters followed.
Remember, they had husbands to deal with.
No, but listen,
no. But I meant, but their husbands, they were older.
My dad went to Aruba. He worked there for a while.
Right.
I think it was late 1930s, early 1940s.
Right.
That he worked there, and this is according to what my mom told us. We've got photographs of my dad in one of the offices with all the dials and things, or the workplace, all the dials at the back of him. I'm not sure how many years he stayed there, but he used to come back to Guyana because he left my mom and the children there. He'd come back and he'd go back. But as far as I can remember, when I was 4 or 5 years old, my dad never left Guyana, so he must have worked in, like I said, late 1930s to early 1940s in Aruba. His name was Abdul Rahoman.
Rahoman, okay.
So
and he died in London at the funeral. I went.
79.
He died he died in London. My mom, a little bit about my mom. She got married when she was 15. Arranged marriage with my dad. He comes from Wakenham.
Is that Essequibo?
And Wakenham,
Right,
it's
okay.
over the Demerara River. It's one of those little islands there. And she I lost my train of thought.
She got married at 15.
She got married at 15. She had her first child at 17. I completely lost my train of thoughts. I'm so sorry. I'm getting old.
How many children did she have?
She had 10 children. I'm the 6th, and Anna Jones is the 10th. There's a 13-year gap between Anna and the second to last ones there. Yeah, so my mom used to tell us that, about her father, Gopeah, that he was the head driver. And I think in Bath Estate, it was Bath Estate. And he was in charge of a lot of the workers there. She didn't know too much because of being the youngest child. But she says her father worked very hard. The only person I remember clearly was Ma, Gopeah's wife.
Oh, yeah.
But my mom didn't remember too much. It's only what she was told by her mother. But she also lived in, when she got married, she and my dad lived in Bath Estate. That's when they had their first 3 children. That was Angelina, Aisha, and Nazir. And then my dad, he was a goldsmith. He moved the family to Georgetown. And that's where the others were born. And that's, from then on, well, we just got older and got jobs, went to high school and things like that. And then in the late 1950s, he moved to England. And in the 1963, my mom went with the rest of the children, and that was it. Anna was born in Guyana, the last girl. So that's as much as I know about my mom. My mom's history when she lived in Bath and then Georgetown.
But you have a brother who lived in South London, Anna, when I came for the funeral.
Fendi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nazir.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. My siblings are alive. Yeah.
And how are they doing?
I think they're doing fine. I've not caught up with them for quite a while, but they're okay. They're all retired.
Out of the 10, like I said, the 2 eldest have passed away. And then there's Nazir. Nazir is, I think, 83 years old. And then after Nazir, there's Janet. And after Janet lives in England as well. And then there's Aziz. He lives in Canada. He lives in Ontario. And after Aziz, there's me. Then there's Babs. Her name is Bibi Zabida. She lives in Croydon in South London. Then there's Azim. He lives in Guyana. He went back to Guyana with his wife. Then there's Yusuf Effendi. We call him Fendi. He lives in South London.
That's the house you
I think
went
that's
to.
where,
Yes.
yeah, that's right. And then after him, it's you, Anna.
So you're
So we're just Aziz and I live in Canada. The rest lives in
Could
England.
I ask Anna Jones, what do you do?
I work for a hospital. I'm a medical secretary there.
St. George's?
Yes.
Duty? Yes.
Yes.
A very famous hospital.
Yeah.
Well, they saved my life 8 years ago by giving me open heart surgery and giving me a new valve.
Really?
Yes.
Beautiful.
After my breast cancer.
She contracted endocarditis.
I had breast cancer.
Yeah.
I was treated for that. And then a year after, I got endocarditis, which was eating away my aorta.
Yeah.
And I was ill, and they had to cut me open, crack my chest open, and give me a new valve.
Well, you look very well now.
You do.
Thank you.
Yes.
That weren't
Because
rust.
Sorry?
It won't suffer from rust.
I don't know what it's made out of. I have no idea what it's made out of. But I can hear it ticking, though,
No, it's
which is a
interesting
good
because
thing.
I retired many years ago and I do volunteering here. And I'm a trustee. I'm sure you have Friends of St. George's Hospital.
Yes, I think
And
so. Yeah.
in London, I was the chairman of the Friends of St. Mary's Hospital in Paddington.
Oh, right.
When I came
Okay.
to York, I got involved with the Friends of York Hospital. And this year, I became the chairman, all totally voluntary.
Yeah.
I mean, provide volunteers and money for medical equipment and so on.
Good.
And if you want to see me, foyh.org.uk, our wonderful website.
Okay.
Now, interesting, you say you're medical secretary. Sharina's mother was a medical secretary in the hospital in Aruba.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And it's Shani, my sister, when she went back to Aruba, she was a medical secretary too. No, actually, she came back to Canada.
That's a Gopeah thing then.
It is indeed. So what does young Alex Bogomolets do?
I'm a teacher. No, I'm not. I was a teacher for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And I moved to guidance counseling in secondary school. So I'm a guidance counselor now, supporting students coming from primary school, going to further education, and any personal or pastoral issues. That's my job.
And Tai Chi.
Oh, that's a hobby, Christy.
Oh, it's a hobby. Oh, I thought it was a serious
And,
thing.
and do you guide them on the right path, or have they all fallen by the wayside?
It's confidential. I can't tell you.
You'd have to kill him, yeah.
And Farah, do you work?
Well, my husband, we have a family business where he exports to the Caribbean. So I work with him in doing that. Yeah.
What do you export?
Food products.
Okay.
Yeah,
Such as-
so mainly protein products, meat products.
And which part of the Caribbean is your main
He
market?
does Dominican Republic and Cuba.
And Cuba?
Yeah.
Have you been to Cuba?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I would love to go to Cuba.
Of course, you're in Canada, so you don't suffer from an American
You do.
sanctions against Cuba, do you?
No, absolutely not. No, we're free to go. I've been once with him to Cuba. We went we stayed in Havana. I mean, there's a lot of interesting history there, so that was nice.
Now, I nearly went. Sorry.
Sorry?
I nearly went to Cuba in 1963.
Okay.
There
So
were
that was a
Cuban
different.
representatives in Ghana, and there were three of us, befriended them. But one of my friends, his father was the deputy leader of the right-wing party, so he thought he couldn't go. It wouldn't look good, so we didn't go.
Okay.
Bibi, what did you do after you became Carnival Queen?
Oh, I worked as a secretary in London, and then I met my husband, Jim Crown, and we got married, and I continued working for a while, and then when we started a family, I didn't work. And then he was an accountant, and then he he left his job and he wanted to be his own boss. So you know about the sub postmasters, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so he became a sub postmaster, and there was a little
Right.
boutique attached to it, and we lived upstairs. So we
Where was
stayed
this?
there. This was in Surbiton.
Okay.
Surbiton, okay.
Surbiton.
Sorry?
Hook Road in Surbiton. And then by then I'd had 2 girls, and they went to school there. And then my husband, it was during the time of Margaret Thatcher's government, and he became disenfranchised with what was going on. So he looked at a country that he would like to take the family, and he settled in Canada. So we came out, and then he had a friend here, an English friend who had a chain of dry cleaning businesses. And my husband, because of the exchange, we had more money than when we left England. You know, the exchange rate was twice as much
right.
in those days.
You didn't know my address then, did you?
So yeah, so he wanted to invest in a business. Oh, first of all, we went to British Columbia, and at that time, I think that was 1981, 82. The interest rates were rising. They went up to as much as 25%. And he found that, you know, it was very difficult for us to buy a business because you wouldn't have been able to repay all the interest back. So he came to Niagara Falls and he bought a motel. So we stayed there for a few years. I missed England and my family, so we went back there for a year or 2. And then we moved back to Canada. He met this guy that had this business, like I was telling you, in Ontario. And he bought 2 dry cleaning businesses. And he bought it in, I think, November. And the following January, he died of a heart attack.
Oh.
I was in my early 40s. I was in my late 40s with 2 teenage daughters. I had only a brother and nothing. Anyhow, nobody else. So I got tucked into the business. My daughters helped with everything, and I learned the business. And then after he passed away, I found it was too much to have the 2. I couldn't put 100% in either one. So by then I had met someone else, Bill, whom I'm with right now. And he helped me to sell one of the businesses, the smaller one. I just sold it at a loss, actually, because I just could not manage to. And I stayed with the larger one, which was a complete plant that did all the cleaning and everything and so on. I worked there for 24 years.
My gosh.
And so I thought, well, I'll sell it now. And then I thought, well, you know, when people know you're a woman on your own, you get taken advantage of, you see. So I put it on the shelf, and then all of a sudden, some guy walked into the place and was looking around, and he said, I heard that you want to sell this place. I said, yeah, I thought about it. Anyhow, long story short, he bought it. So I retired in 2011, and I've had a wonderful life since then. As a matter of fact, last year we were on a cruise. We went to Aruba, but that was you had your get together in July, right?
Yeah.
I think June or July. We went in March. So that's what we were doing since I retired. We would just go on cruises and holidays, and so right now we have our feet on the ground.
Oh,
we can't
wonderful.
move.
But that motel you mentioned, is that the one that appeared in Psycho?
I wish.
Notoriety.
Oh, that's a scary movie. Sorry, guys, I have to leave, but it was very nice meeting you all. I just want to quickly introduce my other child, my son, my teenage son.
What's his name? Farah, what's his name? Matteo. Very
Matteo.
nice to meet you, Matteo.
We call him Teo because my daughter Alessia nicknamed him Teo.
Oh,
His
it's
name
nice.
is Matteo.
How old is he?
How old is Matteo?
14.
14.
He's a big sports fan. He likes. What's your favorite soccer team? No. Say, can you say?
Juventus.
Yeah, he loves Juventus.
Oh.
Juventus.
European soccer.
Oh, wow.
He's into everything sports.
So there's an Italian connection somewhere.
Well, my husband is Italian.
Okay, right.
Oh,
right.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. He was born in Toronto.
From
but
Juventus.
From
Milan.
you want to come a little closer? Well, his grandfather's favorite team is Juventus, right? Nona's favorite team, yeah.
Ah.
So that's
Anna,
the
you
connection.
like Italian men.
That's why
Sorry?
I'm married to a Yorkshireman.
I don't know, but I like
married to a
Italian. I love
Yorkshireman.
my Italian husband. I'm married to one.
But my husband's actually from Yorkshire.
Where? Whereabouts?
He was born in Bradford. Bradford.
I'm actually from the West Riding of Yorkshire.
Okay.
We live in North Yorkshire now, but we did spend more than 40 years in London.
Oh, wow.
Well, my brother, my eldest brother, Jeff, the father of Linda, he married a girl from Lancashire. So I had to marry a girl from Yorkshire.
To get your own back.
So is my husband the only Italian in this grouping?
It
so
is.
far?
Yeah, we do have very good Italian friends who live in
Okay.
I'm sure there are others in the family who have Italian.
Yeah, we'll probably be
I'm going to have to go as well, Nick, because it's 7 o'clock and it's going to be dinner time soon. And I've had a lovely time, really very nice time connecting with everyone. And I look forward to the next Zoom meeting. And if I can find anything to put onto the Facebook with pictures and whatever. And Donald, if there's anything, just please let me know. Email me. I've put my email there.
Okay.
And we'll stay in touch.
Yes.
Eh?
Okay.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Farah, I'll get Donald to send you my number, okay?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Just living a skip and a through. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Cara.
Bye.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna go as well because I
Time has
haven't had
come. We'll leave
breakfast.
the long talkers.
It was lovely to connect, and we'll stay connected on Facebook, some of you, and like what Anna said, if I have anything new, any photographs or so, I'm going to send it to Donald. Okay?
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Definitely.
Will you send
Nice
it to
meeting
Donald?
you,
I'll
baby.
put it on the Gopeah, on the
Bye-bye,
Gopeah
baby.
Facebook.
And of course, if you have any
Bye-bye.
extra cash, send it to me.
Yes.
Me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Richard, you haven't, sorry, Sharifa, you haven't told us what you do.
Sharifa, this is Shanaz, actually. I'm her sister.
Oh, you're a sister?
Yeah, I'm Shanaz.
Shanaz.
I work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. Good.
Oh, you're a nurse. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
And Shako, what about you?
I work for Lincoln Financial. My company hometown is in Donald's neck of the woods.
Oh.
Oh, no, he means Donald.
This Donald. Oh, I thought you meant.
She thought you were talking about another Donald.
No, we don't talk about him. We haven't talked about him. We're not talking about him today.
Is it easy to change your name in Canada?
Don't know.
So Donald, what do you do when you're not playing president?
Where's Richard gone? Is he gone?
What do? I do genealogy, and I work for an engineering firm. I do railroad permitting.
Railway community.
Railroad permitting. So utilities.
Sorry.
They need to get a permit to access the railroad right away to do improvements to their infrastructure. And I also work for an insurance company called Primerica.
Right. And Richard, you've disappeared.
He's gone invisible. That's what he's done.
Gone to the loo.
Gone invisible.
What did you do, Sharina?
There he is.
What did I do?
Toilet.
Oh,
the toilet.
that's Carol.
Go ahead,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Asking what does Richard do?
Pardon?
What did Richard do?
He's working in a college at the moment, part-time. robotics, technical robotics. Here he is. He'll tell you now. What are you doing?
There you go.
Oh, right. No, I was an engineer, a senior engineer in a power station in Wales, a large coal-fired power station, which is not the best thing at the moment. So that's closed down. So I'm semi-retired now. So I work 2 days a week in our local college, helping the engineering department with the robotics and PLCs and that, all that stuff and that as well. So that's what I do now.
But Richard, you have an interesting story to tell. When I came down and stayed with you for Lima's funeral, Lima Kadim, who died, Richard...
Well, I hope she died if you went to her funeral.
Yeah, I went to her funeral.
Okay.
And Richard worked in the power station and he took the day off. And I jokingly said to him, "You sure you can take the day off?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "There might be a power cut." And what happened, Richard?
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that long though, was it? It wasn't that long.
Oh, that's
Oh
good.
dear.
And
Guys, I'm going to have to leave now.
Okay, sure.
But tell us what you did before you go.
Yeah.
What I did? Me?
What did you do?
What I did?
Yeah.
Oh. From how far back?
Beginning.
Well, I'm retired from the CIBC Bank, where I worked many years, mainly in the mortgage company, in the mortgage industry, both in the business section and in the testing section. So, but I'm retired from that now. So now I do a lot of art, and I run around.
Takes after her uncle.
Huh? Sorry?
Chris was saying you're quite a clever girl.
Oh.
And I said you take after your uncle. I'm not saying which uncle, but...
I only have one uncle here now.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll go with the surviving one.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't told you what I've done. When I left, I taught for 3 years in Barbados and then went to university here. And then I taught English as a foreign language for 4 years. And then I joined the telecommunications company and worked in their finance department for 17 years. And then when I took redundancy from them, I worked for the Prince's Trust, Prince Charles's Trust. And when they made me redundant after 9 years, I joined Chris in her shop, a gift shop that she'd opened, and helped her there. And then that's it. I retired, and now I just do volunteering.
Good for you.
And Zooming. We have an awful lot of Zoom meetings.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Invest
What do you
in,
do?
we
Sounds
should all
good.
invest in Zoom shares.
Definitely.
Sorry?
I said we should all invest in the Zoom shares.
Well, the shares have gone through the roof.
They've gone through the roof.
Too late. It's a cry.
So
Yeah.
Nick, when are you moving to the coast?
We're looking at sometime later before the winter sets in here, November, around that time. That's kind of like, so right now we're in a process of just filling in, doing some extra work and then getting ready to move as well. So we got to find a place down there and hopefully, and then obviously I'm still working, so I'm looking at getting something new out in BC. So that's where it feels like kind of life is restarting for me in a different province, which is exciting to do. I'm kind of very happy and looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing out
Are
there.
you looking at a particular place? Are you going to a specific place?
Yeah, we're looking at going down to a place it's called White Rock, around that area. There's a place called Langley, Abbotsford, a little further in. But it's usually going to be south of Vancouver. That's the area that Kim wants to go. And at the same, because her family, her daughter lives in Seattle in Washington State, and a place called Bremerton. And it's kind of close for them to basically keep in touch with each other. So, and I've been now, so it's a beautiful place. And I'm thinking, I think this move is needed. And then when we go down there and settle down, you know, I can have Jaden with me. He can come down and spend a few months, and I can take him to the beach, and we can have some enjoyable time there as well. But work-wise for me though is going to be a variety of different things. So I'm just trying to collect it all together and get myself properly organized in that way, and you know, and have fun at the same time too as well. So that's what I'm doing.
Good luck. We'll talk.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Any
I'm
other
not
votes?
gonna retire. I'm sorry. You guys may have retired. I'm not retiring. I've said to my staff, look, just as long as I have my Guinness, I'm very happy. I'm just gonna keep going. Good. I'm just gonna go right to the end. That's it. I'm not stopping.
Champagne and retirement.
I was gonna ask Chris, what are you doing with Hussein? Are you guys volunteering together, or are you doing something differently?
No, I don't do anything.
Yeah, because I was
She's
actually
always
trying.
decorating or doing something anyway. She always has a project, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Except I'm finding it, I started when I retired to do picture framing, but I'm finding it really, really difficult to get going in York. I'm very demotivated here. So I'm trying to get the room clear now so I can, because I've got so many things to frame that it's silly really. I've got to try and, but COVID doesn't help because we don't go out much and we don't see anybody and it's quite lonely at the moment.
Typical pensioners.
Yeah.
Well, what about the local community in terms of the business community? That because you're talking about framework, that's a good point because you're right, Chris, when you're saying there's a lot of people who have all these things to frame and then finding somebody
to do it for other people. I just want to do it for myself.
As a hobby.
Right. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes sense. I mean, at the same time too, as well, in the community, there's people who are doing similar things, who are just doing it for a hobby, and usually when they connect, they sometimes can inspire each other. Just sort of like say, okay, this is what you like doing for yourself. This is what we do. You could come and join us. That type of thing.
Well, in London, I used to go to a class and we did it for several years and it was the same sort of group all the time. So that did happen, but here there is no such group. The north of England is really bad as far as encouraging crafts and that sort of
Well, maybe you might have to start something, Chris. And Chris, you're going to have to start something. Oh, no.
You can start looking after me.
Right now, she's trying to finish off her own framing, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right. That's good. Yeah. So, okay.
All right, guys. I'm going to see you. I'm
You're
going
right.
to send my information.
Thank you for coming on board, Sharina.
Nice to see you, Sharina.
Take care. How's your dad, Alex?
He has gout on 2 toes.
He rang me today, actually, because I told him last week it was my birthday today. And he
I told him as well.
I think there might have been a little reminder.
So he rang.
No, he's managing. He's managing. He's just trying to contain the pain on his toes. So he's looking for maybe.
Yes, indeed. I'll just tell you a story because.
What happened with his? Hold on. What happened with his toes?
He got gout. It just got infected, and he didn't do anything about it. So it's massive. Oh, it's really big.
Oh.
And he had the tip of one toe amputated.
Yeah, from the
other
first.
foot already.
And then he has a woman who comes in and cuts his toenails at 30 euros. I said she should charge him 10% less because she has one less toenail to cut. But he said, oh, she's a very old.
And 30% in a few weeks' time.
So sorry. Nice meeting everyone.
And now he's going to
bye, everybody.
Nice meeting everybody.
All the best.
Happy birthday to the 2 boys.
Yes.
And babies.
I can't even.
Oh, you're the baby, and Hussein, you're the baby as well.
Yeah.
Good to see you all. Donald. Good to see you.
Good. Take care.
My email address, Donald.
Bye, Serena. I want to go and put the pie in the oven.
All right, go and put the pie in the oven.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm off.
I just need someone to forward all the new details to me.
Sorry?
I just need someone to forward all the new family details by email, maybe.
I'll email you the list I sent out to everybody last night.
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Excuse
See
me,
you all again.
everyone. Sorry, but I
Enjoy
have to
the
leave
champagne.
now.
So,
okay.
Donald, when are you heading out this way?
Me?
Me?
Donald.
But sure, you're in England.
I know.
It's out of bounds. It's out of bounds for
I'm
us.
glad you told me.
I gotta get my back right first. I pulled my back last week in the yard.
Oh, not playing golf.
No, not playing golf. No, I was clearing the fence. The fence line was weeds.
Okay. Bye.
I was gonna ask Nick. You can capture the chat on the side, the text. My computer's locked up, so if I do anything, it's gonna kill my computer. Capture that and email that to me.
Okay, sure. I will try and do that. You want me to copy the chat?
All the chat. Yeah, there's emails in there, email addresses in there.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll write them down, and then I'll send them out to you. But
Nick, how do I access the YouTube thing?
well, what I'll do is when I set this all up and throw it onto YouTube, I will send the link to everybody. You're on WhatsApp, so I can send you the link on WhatsApp. Right, and then when you click on it, it will open up, and just as long as you have YouTube on your phone or your tablet or your computer, you can open it up in there.
Right.
Yeah. Did you see the other one by chance?
No.
You haven't seen it yet? Okay.
I haven't.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll send you the link, and you can have a look through that as well. I thought you had gotten the link as well. I mean, I know you don't have a Facebook account, do you, at the moment?
No.
Okay.
After 65, people don't have Facebook accounts.
Well, I was thinking that, but when I all of a sudden my mom, who's a lovely age of 86, she's asking me.
86.
Yeah, and she's asking me left, right, and center the questions about everything on Zoom, on messaging, and all the social media. She's got her iPad. She's asking me all these questions, and I'm just kind of like, she's writing everything down, and so she could remember what it is too as well. So when I started working with Zoom earlier on, it was more at school when I was at college the last few months ago, and when the COVID came in, that's when I started getting a little bit more knowledgeable with Zoom and how it works and everything else.
Yes.
And obviously with my mom, she loves the social media. She's usually a messenger girl. I like to call it that because she likes talking to everybody on Messenger, which is, she has a Facebook account. And so that's why I was saying to you, Hussein, if you open up a Facebook account, you'll open yourself up to more communication on social media.
It's the security aspect that worries me about it. That's why I haven't done it.
Okay. I mean, because, excuse me, the Gopeah site is on there, so it gives you a chance to go and take a look on it as well. I think the one thing that's important when you're setting up Facebook is that for you, Uncle, if you want to, you can do it in such a way that you keep everything private, as in you can, there's a setting on there where you just, with whatever random email you set up, you just set up Facebook with that email, keep everything private, so then you don't get tons of stuff coming in that people have been getting before. And you just keep it simple, and then you can reach out to whoever it is you want to talk to on those bases as well. All right, so I know, Donald, I know you've got some of that information. I'm going to do the same thing too as well, and we'll just kind of like throw things back and forth, and then we can send a copy of that to Richard and to Georgette as well. Richard, that was a great job with that spreadsheet that you did on your family side. That was fantastic. That was really good. That was excellent. And of the other people that we had on board today, like Sharif and the family, I mean, what's her name? Farah, I think it is. She seemed to be interested in a little bit more information. Definitely, Shako is another one. She seemed to have a lot of good information from Guyana. From there, and I think she'd want to be in touch with to get more information on things that has happened over there over the years. I was hoping to try and get Lyle on board, but I think they're doing something today or this weekend. So because I don't know how much he remembers in terms of whether he likes talking about it. You know, whereas whether with you, Hussein, I know you enjoy talking about the things that we all love listening to. Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, that's the beauty of this, and that's what I was trying to promote with other people is the fact that there are some living individuals like yourself, Hussein. There's Lyle, there's my mom on that side too as well, and then maybe we might try and get from Auntie Janine and Uncle Oswald as well on that side. to try and get them
Yes.
to get some stories from them, because they know a lot as well. And I know Auntie Janine's mentioned a few things about Aruba that she remembers. So that's the reason why the idea of trying to maintain the communication. And I know Zoom is one of things, but Messenger has another thing as well. So hopefully we'll maybe talk a little later on, Hussein, and seeing how you feel about Facebook, and we can go from there. Yeah.
And I must thank you, Nick, for arranging and organizing all of this. And Donald, I must also thank you for doing all of this extra work that you're continuing in your father's tradition, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
It's very therapeutic for me, and I enjoy. I've got more time on my hands now, but it means a lot. I know, that there's a huge gap of 40 years that transpired where all this information was just not talked about.
Yeah.
And so we're playing catch up now, trying to get it up to a point so that we can hand this off to the next generation.
Indeed.
To carry it forward.
Indeed.
And so there has to be like 400 descendants of Gopeah now that exist around the world, and it's a challenge to locate them, contact them, and include them, in the book and the document that we can hand off to the next generation.
Indeed, I think if we, as a shorthand, if we have something like, call it L1, L2, L3 of the levels, so we know straight away, X is L3, so that's third generation down, so we can then focus our mind.
Yeah.
And if you want to refer to the book, we know exactly where it is and who it is and what the relationship is.
The challenge with that I see, and maybe somebody can help me, because our family is so huge, to plot a graphical representation of the tree would be...
No, but it's just simply, if you had a Zoom meeting, it's just simply a tag after each person's name that indicates, whether you want A, B, C, D, or whatever.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But something like that in the book, where my father numbered, the 12 children.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then the next level, then they had a number, and so it kind of stopped. But it helps because there are so many similar names.
Exactly.
Family, there's kind of a number. So okay, so which branch they belong to.
Yep.
So, but that's a good idea.
1/3, it indicates, whoever, and the third generation down. But it's interesting how, I suppose because I'm in way the oldest of those who met today, that how many of you I've met. And, remembering Bibi as the carnival queen in Ghana in, 1964, whenever it was, which was great fun. She was quite a character, actually, as a young lady, as she herself admitted.
Well, in talking with some of the cousins, I was talking to Shako 2 weeks ago, and she knows a woman who is 90, who lives in New York City, who lived in Guyana, and in front of her home there was a well. And of course, everybody from the village had to go to the well to get water to cook and to bathe. And so she knows many of our family members, including Julia, and she knew her quite well.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I was again reminding her to arrange for me to have an interview, which I would like to record, because we're losing so much of our heritage as the elders are passing on.
And that oral history is so important.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a way, we ourselves continue the oral history, apart from the obvious ones, is the stories. That's why I make a point of, teasing Sasha or whoever, or Nick, and telling the stories. And I think stories bind us as well, to show us that, as families, these things happen. And I think it's still remarkable that we have continued this, a legacy of your fathers so many years after, and that,
25 years after, yeah.
And Georgette has continued it in the book. And if there's any help of any description you need, Donald, don't hesitate to ask.
Yes, I would like to. call you and
on one condition, that you support Man U, but leave that aside.
Donald, on
Go
the
ahead
Caden
then.
family, I'll
We have
ask,
a Juventus supporter in our midst, but we'll allow that.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead, Richard.
Donald,
Go ahead, Richard.
yeah. With Lyle, I'll see if I can get a photo from Lyle's family with a bit of write-up. I'll ask him to do write-up, or one of them to do write-up as well. I got information from my Auntie Lima as well, with her marriage as well. Darryl will have to supply photos from his line of the family. And I'll ask my dad, Harvey, and Janine and Oswald as well, if they want to send particular photos and a bit of a write-up as well, and see if I can encourage them to get some information to go into the future new book as well.
Excuse me a second.
So I'll, anything you want to know about the Cadians, try and come through me, and I'll try and ask people, to do that as well.
That's a great idea.
There was, let's see, I'm trying to think. I think Manny is a Syed, right? No, Ali. That just passed. Manny.
Which one?
Manny. The one that passed.
Would that be on? Would that be on the Jaitun or the?
No, it's a Mohed, is it?
Or the Mohit side?
Aziman.
Aziman. Okay, yeah. So the next leg after Syed.
That's number 5. So
right.
In that one, I noticed that all of the names appear to be nicknames because, and I only discovered that Manny's name is really Nazir, Nazeer, because his daughter sent me a picture of his tombstone that was just installed about a month ago. So again, what I wanted to really do is to get the given names, the proper names, to go along with the nicknames, so that will help in our research
right,
to go back, tie things together. Because I would like to ask, Serena might know, in the National Archives, if there's any way that we can write to someone that might be able to help us with the research from abroad. And of course, I mean, I know they're going to need to be compensated for their time, which is understandable, but much less expensive than a plane ticket. And
could I suggest, Donald, that you get in touch with Yasmin, my niece?
Okay.
Because when she went to Guyana, she went to the National Archive. So she will have, in a sense, first-hand information, and she got those copies of the documents of my grandmother's emigration certificate.
Right.
And she produced a video of that trip, which I'm sure you've seen.
Yes.
And she rang me today, and so to wish me happy birthday, because she couldn't come on to this. But do check with her on that, and she may give you some pointers there, as well as Sharina, who has contacts there. So you bring those two aspects together and see what happens. But I suppose I should try and do something at this end, because as I was saying earlier about the old colonial office records. And there is a university here, the University of Warwick, that has a department that focused on Indian indentured labor and the history of Indian indentured labor going back to, the early 19th century and whatever records they have. So that's given me, I'm busy enough with all of my trusteeships and whatnot, but I think I can go and check that out.
Right.
I have a letter here that was written to Edwin, and I presume that's Edwin Shakur, by somebody who they put their name as Mo Zaman, Z-A-M-A-N, and they lived in Nottingham, England, in '94, and he had done some research and found out some information about the British Trident, the ship that Gopeah and his mother sailed. He said in the Public Records Office in London.
Yep.
So I'm going to scan this letter. It has a telephone number and an address on it, and I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you can maybe you could check and see if there's any records available.
Is he a relative, or how did he come?
I presume he's a relative. Back in the 90s, my father and Edwin picked up the telephone and called several other relatives, but I can't place. There's another Zaman in the book, but I don't know if it's him or not.
Under which branch?
Oh, I have to look it up and see.
Oh, okay.
But he was wanting to get in touch with Frank Jones, who's married to Aisha.
Aisha, yes.
Yeah.
Who is Bibi Zuleika's sister.
Right. And apparently Frank is suffering from dementia, and he's very ill. Because Sue Mundy said that Aisha has most all of the family photographs.
Okay.
And so I've been trying to reach out to their children on Facebook to see if maybe they could go over and help find those, take some of that off of their mother, because she's so busy taking care of Frank.
Right.
Yeah, so that was interesting to find this letter. I've got this binder, and these are all letters that were sent to my father and Edwin back in the 90s when they started reaching out to other cousins.
Okay, but at least, Donald, you've resolved one issue, because you'd asked me about if I had any contact details to Rose Khan in New York, and there were 3 people there who knew her. So
yeah,
we're going to sort that part out.
Shanaz said I think she lives a couple blocks. One of them lives a couple blocks from her. They live in the same subdivision. And Georgette, I know Georgette has been in touch with her not too far long ago.
Georgette has a younger sister, doesn't she?
She does, Desiree.
Ah, are you in touch with her?
No, she's kind of off the grid, if you will. Georgette talked to her the other day. I want to say she lives around near San Francisco.
I will in 2 minutes.
She lives, I believe, near San Francisco.
Okay. How old is she then?
Oh, probably, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years younger than Georgette.
Right. Okay.
She used to work for the State Department.
So you're not in touch. When you say she's off the grid, meaning she isn't involved in the family? Or...
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook, but she doesn't post things on there. She reads them, but she doesn't post anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it takes all kinds.
Yeah.
Chris is saying that supper is ready in a few minutes, so I've got to say au revoir, monsieur.
Okay.
Happy 75th birthday, Hussein, and Nick, happy birthday to you as well.
Yes,
thank you. Thanks, guys.
And Shell sends regards to you as well, and it's nice, good job again, Nick.
Thank you so
and
much.
Donald with the information as well. So
The
I'll try and
next
feed
one is
back
going to
some
be.
information and
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
and then Hussein, we'll have to catch up now next year when this COVID is subsided, right?
Yes.
And I got some more time now because I'm part-time, so I'll talk to you again about it when it eases off. Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, guys.
Excellent, yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Don't forget the Grand Prix tomorrow.
Right.
Donald, you're a Grand Prix fan.
I'm sorry?
Are you a Grand Prix fan?
It's
Daryl.
A little bit. Yeah, Daryl.
It's Daryl. Anyway, Lewis Hamilton is on pole for the Monza Grand Prix, in case you're interested.
Okay.
Okay.
Just two wins away from beating Schumacher.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's significant.
Okay, guys.
All right. Enjoy
Take care.
supper. Thank you. Have a good
See you.
Sunday.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care, guys. Well, I'll send all the information out to you, okay?
All right, Nick. Thank you. Hey, you have to show me sometime on the Zoom so I can help out.
Of course, yeah, definitely. I was looking at it earlier on, and I'm thinking, okay, I gotta meet up with you and we could chat and go over the Zoom. So we might just go on the WhatsApp and then open up Zoom separately and then go through a few things. So then that way we can both coordinate and host things too as well. So rather than just be with one person, it's easier to have second person on there as well. So just in case something I miss. So I don't know who that one person was that was trying to come on board. She was trying to come on back again.
Seemed like the name was Star Galaxy. I take it that was the phone or the tablet.
It's the unit that she's using, but who she is, I don't know. I didn't recognize, and I don't know if she was able to hear us, to respond back to hearing from anything. I don't know. So anyway, I'll record all this up, set this up on YouTube, and send it out, and let's have fun enjoying 3 hours.
I noticed something. I don't know, when you make the recording, is there a setting to keep the names under the squares?
That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I was trying to see if there was anything on there. It says remove name. So what I'll do is, it might happen again because I haven't changed anything. So what I'm gonna do is when I go to do the next preparation one for the Christmas time, I'll try and see if names could still stay on board there, because yeah, you're right. I didn't know the names disappeared. I'm not too sure why it wasn't in part of the recording, but I didn't want to upset anything now during our conversation. So then that way we can catch everybody. But yeah, good point. Good point. And then my brother, you take care. You take care of that back of yours, okay?
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Nice meeting you, Aiden.
You say bye? There you go.
Bye. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk to you soon. You take care.
Okay,
darling.
take care.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.